None of that got recorded.
Why should that have been recorded?
Because it was good stuff.
Was it good stuff?
Yep.
Fishing.
People wants to
Again,
go fishing.
I would love to go fishing. Is she not going with you?
She's going, and today is God's day. Therefore,
You can't.
you shall
buy
not
cars.
work.
Oh,
The only working you shall do is fishing, and it's not really work if you're having fun, you know.
hey, you know how to like slice and clean a fish?
Yeah.
That's
Are you
something
kidding
you
me?
gotta
He's
teach
from
me.
Georgia. They
I
come
don't
out of
mean
the
shit.
womb
I'm
with
from
that information.
Arkansas.
We're just naturally born knowing how to do shit like that.
If
Hashtag
Sundays,
salt life, even though they live in the inside of Georgia.
if Sunday's not for working, how come we're working on this podcast?
This ain't work.
This is fun.
This is dfwai. This is the wrong button.
Listener discretion is advised.
Why are they backwards like that?
You are now free to clog your ear holes. Clog your ear holes.
Ow. Good grief. It's like she's never been on the show before. That's good. That's good. What?
Alyssa's still muted.
You son of a bitch.
I can't see it through the cables.
You want to put the cables there?
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be a bitch
That's
of an
Ghost.
episode. That is Ghost. Sweet Pee Ness is over here.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Sweet Pee Ness. You know what I'm trying to do here. It's not penis. It's the sweet penis. Sweet penis. I can't do it. Across from me.
A penis?
Callie.
Yeah. And then, okay, nice.
What the fuck?
That was her.
No, did you hear her?
What?
Repeat yourself.
Did you celebrate 420? Oh.
I tried. She wouldn't let me. I didn't really try that hard. No, I looked at her and you said Callie, and I said, who loves my sweet penis?
Oh, I did not hear her say that. Yeah.
That was nice.
I mean, you get what I was trying to do there, right? Like the sweetness.
Sweet pea.
Yeah.
No one gets
The
it.
sweetness. You know, you just add ness to the end of somebody's name, like the Calliness, the Alyssaness. It becomes penis when you do it to Sweet Pea.
Yep.
He is now the Sweet Penis.
Be bonus.
What?
Be bonus.
Be bonus?
It's a big bottle of Mountain Dew.
I hope you all are ready because today is probably going to be like a roller coaster.
Why?
I don't know.
That's why.
I had a topic. What did I put in there?
I don't know.
Geico.
What's 2 and 7? Huh? What's 2 and 7?
I thought you asked. Oh, you want to know what? Okay, what did
Like
two?
added
Okay,
together?
no. You wanted to know what I added to the group chat, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what do
Twice.
2 and 7 have in common?
287.
Huh?
What?
What do the numbers 2 and 7 have in common?
When you multiply both of them, they both end up with a 4.
No. I think you were sitting there when I listened to the video of this, right?
They're both numbers.
Yeah. Which he said at first, but I tried to bypass that because
That's really it.
that's it.
I hate my life.
That is so stupid.
You said it though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but this is the point that they were making in the video, or the guy was making in the video. So that was a question. What do the numbers 2 and 7 have in common? And people will sit there and think around that for hours trying to figure it out, and it's the fact that they're numbers.
I mean, his second point kind of made sense too. They
It's
both have fours.
But the fact that it's already implied that they're numbers, so you're trying to think of something else because that's already
Man,
implied.
This is some shit that would be on a fucking math test. And if you don't put they're both numbers, you're going to get it wrong. But if you put they're both numbers, your teacher's going to think you're a smart ass.
Half of the NCLEX is choose the best correct answer, and the other half is the answer is so obvious you question yourself.
I hate those tactics and tests. Delilah was telling me about one they had the other day, and it was like, what's the name of the great playwright who made Romeo and Juliet? And it was like Jerry, Barry, Ferry, and Robert.
None of those are the answer.
Or sorry, it was Will, Gil, Bill, and Robert.
William?
And it's William. But anybody else who'd be taking that would be like, wait, these three are different. That one's these three are the same. That one's completely different.
It's got to be that one.
So it's got to be that one because
Delilah got it wrong.
That's literally a test taking strategy.
she got it right. But like that's a test strategy. So you're literally saying, oh, this is how people take tests. I'm going to fuck them over on it.
Yeah. Because fuck them.
That's kind of ignorant.
Yeah.
Especially if people are just bad at taking tests.
Well, that's kind of the point of a test is you're testing your knowledge, not your test taking abilities.
Right.
So you got to try and mess up how test taking is done so that they can test their knowledge.
Well, that's not
It's kinda like
testing
whenever
their
I-
knowledge. That's teasing them. Like, hey, here's three that sound the same, but here's one that sounds totally different. Which one are you going to go with? You know the answer, but now you're going to second guess yourself.
Right.
The amount of times we've been
But you
having...
know the answer, so pick the right answer.
Yeah, but you second guess yourself because that's how they fucking set it up. You're just like, pretty sure William's the right answer here, but wait, what if I'm wrong? What if it's not actually
I remember
William?
we were talking about another guy during talking. It's kind of like when you and I are having a conversation, and I'm like, what was that thing? And none of us can think of the fucking word.
It's
Because
usually
you're on the
sitting there
spot.
snapping at
No,
us.
it's because you're on the spot. You get put on the spot. Test taking puts you on the spot every fucking time. And for me, my brain goes,
Yeah.
when I'm put on the spot. But I can
Who's the guy
rattle
who
off
says,
fucking shit.
motherfucker in every movie he's in.
Huh?
Who's the guy who says motherfucker in every movie he's in?
Samuel Jackson.
See, you got it. My brain went everywhere but.
You would have been more Freeman, Denzel Washington.
I'd have been thinking of every black actor that's ever existed.
Why has he got to be black? Just because
Because
he
I
says
know that the one
motherfucker?
that does it, I can see his face, I can hear his voice, I can't think of his
Did I
name.
not say black actor?
No.
Oh.
But that's how it works, right? I'll be talking to her, and I'll literally be able to describe all the way around the thing that I'm trying to come up with. Every description except for the word.
It's got bark. It grows really tall. It's got leaves on it. It's a fucking grass.
It's a plant. What are those things called?
They've got leaves on them and they're green.
The other day, I was having a conversation with my HR rep,
Sometimes they're orange.
and I
sometimes they're
couldn't
red.
come up with a word to describe the
Sometimes
thing.
they don't have leaves.
But I came up with the entire definition of the word. Like it describes this. This is the definition of the word I'm looking for. It sums up these two thought processes. It's this act and this act mixed into one. And then like as soon as I said, what is it? She goes, I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the word now either. That's test taking.
She said the word like 57 times until he said, what is it? And then she
Yeah.
goes,
Come on, Van, it's this. You got it, buddy.
And we had a
It's
third
this
person
word.
in there and I'm like, what's the word? And he was nowhere close. He's like, this one. I'm like, did you listen to a word I said about what the word means?
You should hear me at work.
Is
Listen,
that the
I don't
noise you
know.
make?
Yes.
Oh,
No.
Oh, I heard about you at work. I heard you had a pretty rough time.
Yeah. Enough that I didn't pick up the next night because Friday night was bullshit.
Was it shit or was it something else?
Oh, it was something else. Shit
Are
was
we
involved,
talking
but-
about the fact that she made a killing the other night on one night of work, and then I said maybe I should look into go to nursing?
No, we were talking about the pee story she told me.
Oh, where she almost
I
got
told
peed
him.
on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
you lucky dog. People would like pay for that.
I'm not getting pee on my Manitou Brewery shirt. Sorry.
But like you could have made a killing and made another killing just from getting peed on.
I could have.
I don't think you can
could've.
legally charge your
I
patients
cannot
for that.
do that.
Legally.
tip.
Huh?
It's a tip.
They cannot
I don't think they
tip.
can.
Oh no, I left this $500 bill on the ground. What a shame if you picked it up.
And
Do they make $500 bills?
I don't know, but they
They
do now.
do in this story.
A stack of cash.
No, actually, there are laws that are written specifically about that. Like, I can't take cash from
You
patients.
can't even take gifts, can
It's
you?
a very gray area for gifts.
What?
Like one patient I had him one night. We had a great time. He was super.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Wow.
He was super happy with the care that he received.
Oh, I bet he was.
Man's about to go off the deep end.
And so a couple of days later, when I was back, his wife had brought in cookies, and actually,
Oh, they're swingers.
Jessica was his nurse that night. And I
She in the
popped
corner?
in just to say hi, because if I have patients that I get along with, I will go in and I will visit with them, even if they're not my assignment that night, just to check in and see how they're doing. And he's like, hey, while you're here, I've got something for you. And he like handed me this tin of cookies. And I walked out. A little while later, Jessica was like, I bet he was going to give those to me, but you came in there. So he said that we had to share them. And I was like, yep, that's exactly what happened.
That's some shit I would do. But no, she made, can I say how much you made in one night of work?
I don't care.
$1,000 in one night of work.
Nice.
And one 12-hour shift, she made $1,000. Right? It was an overtime, mind
if
you.
I don't
It was a
do
fourth
overtime,
night. If she doesn't do overtime, it takes her all 4 nights to make like $2,000. But one night equals an extra $1,000. So I was like, damn, I like helping people. I'm pretty decent in intense situations. So I was like, be honest with me.
No.
You think I should go into nursing?
No.
No.
What the fuck?
No.
Why?
It's just not you, man.
you changed one poopy diaper the entirety of our relationship with having children.
3 kids.
And it
I
was
changed
the
more than
first
one.
one.
I changed more than one.
I'm going to have to go with a list.
I
on
did
this
at least
one. I
4.
doubt it.
Wow.
We have 3 kids. That's more than one on average per child.
That's not
You
how
know
that
who
works.
changes
I will-
less poopy diapers than you?
Ew.
An absent father, but not by much.
I was well. In my defense, I was absent.
It's indefensible.
Not the whole time.
I was on the road
not
making
the whole
money
time. Yeah, yeah.
while they were babies. Yeah, pretty much the whole time they were.
What about on the weekends you were home? How many poopy diapers did you change then?
None.
4 total.
Babies poop on the weekend. I promise.
Listen
You
here.
changed none of them.
No, because
None of them.
I did not want there to also be Ralph in said diaper and on my baby.
None of them.
Okay. So what do you think is going to happen whenever you go to become a nurse and a grown man shits all over
As
you?
far
got
as
to
I can
change
tell-
grown man shitty diapers.
As far as I can tell, they make biohazard suits, and I can rub Vicks Vapo Rub underneath of here, and then if I'm in a biosuit, I can close my eyes and try to get the job
Listen,
done.
I don't think every single time you have to do this, you're going to want to put a biohazard suit on.
Yes,
Nor do I think you have the time.
I do.
Whenever you walk in there like, I got to shit.
What?
She ain't wrong.
You just hold on. I gotta zip this. Hey, nurse, other nurse, can you strap my back here and bring the power washer in?
Just spray the entire room. Just now.
Pretty sure you did that at the bathroom at
Flying J? I did.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Can't do
I've
that
told
in
that
there.
You
story
can't
on
just
here.
put a hose in the patient's room and turn it on.
I can shove it up their ass. And
no,
turn
you
it on.
cannot. You have to have an order
They won't
for that.
poop for the
You have
whole.
to have an order for that.
They won't poop for the whole time I'm on shift.
Anyways, no, I don't think you should be a nurse.
You could be one of the assistants that like help them move them like around.
Okay, so I asked her the other day. So, any profession out there, you've known me for years. You've known me for years. You've known me for
Almost a year.
almost a year. What would I be good at that could make substantial amount of money? In your opinion, what profession could you see me just
I thought you were
excelling
in it.
I think you should be a stripper.
Ain't nobody want to see that shit. They'll pay me to put it back on.
There you go.
There you go.
I think
Problem
you're wrong.
solved.
What?
Dad bod, bro.
They pay you to take it off. They see what you got, and then they pay double for you to put it back on.
Dad bod and a bear.
Oh yeah. See, hey.
What, a gay strip? I mean, I'd
mean,
go to.
it don't
I'd do
have to be
gay
a gay
stripping.
strip club.
I
but
would do gay stripping.
do it. They make
He'd
plenty of
probably
money.
be more comfortable with being a gay stripper.
Probably.
I would be more comfortable being a gay stripper, like in a gay strip club, versus in front of a ton of women.
Just
Woman?
start doing drag shows.
Women.
Like I've been to several. So that bar I used to hang out in Augusta. It was
Yeah.
a gay bar, and they did drag shows every Friday and Saturday night. Shit, them motherfuckers were making money hand over fist, and I'm talking about some.
I don't know that I could pull drag off.
What would his drag name be?
Oh God,
Queen Latifah.
Queen Laquifa.
I think there is one of those already.
Clint Taurus.
The fuck? Is that like clitoris?
I like
Yeah.
Yeah. Torres?
Clint Taurus.
Okay, but in all actuality, aside from stripping, what do you guys
That's it. That's the only thing. you're
Okay.
good at.
What do you think I'd be good at?
Definitely don't start a construction company. You would not be good at that.
What the fuck?
You can't cut a straight line.
I don't have to do construction in a construction
Or
company.
nail it into the concrete
You shut your
before you
fucking
build
mouth
the
hole.
wall.
You shush. You don't know. Okay, so construction's not it. What is it?
Nope.
Entertainment?
Food.
I mean, that's stripping. Yeah, like equivalent to what she makes.
I don't.
Let's
make
start a food
lot.
truck.
Bitch, don't.
Tacos.
I'm not making fucking tacos.
A taco food
There's
truck.
so many places that can do tacos better than us.
On a
Tacos
regular
wouldn't be
night,
it.
Bebop, I make about $430 with my differentials on a
Really?
weekday.
Were you over there doing math?
I was.
I mean, I think your base rate's like
32.12 is my base
$32.12 an hour.
hour.
So
Make 30 an hour.
when we worked in the union, we were making that kind of fucking money.
Yeah.
When we worked overtime, we were making like $80 an hour.
But you didn't get consistency with that line of work.
Not just that, but
Politics.
you talk about like I'm a man. I do man stuff, right? I'm a construction worker. Those are the biggest bitches.
Yes.
Quite literally, you're on the job site and it's bitch, whine, dad.
Yeah.
Especially the people running the fucking show. And that's why I couldn't handle it. It was like working as a high schooler. Just the clicks, the
High
amount
school
of,
never ends.
fuck, I know. But like in construction
Wasn't
where
that
you
good,
got
Charlotte.
these
Huh?
Wasn't that good, Charlotte?
I don't think it was.
That was Bowling for Soup.
Yeah.
Yes, you are correct.
But in an industry where you've got these big burly men that do man things and they don't, gays are scary. I mean, bad. No, I said it right the first time. They're scared of gay people.
Yes.
They are the biggest. They are the. Wow, it's like you were there.
Hey, look, if you think about it, all of these men have maybe a high school diploma. Like, they've never been out and what's the word I'm looking for?
They're not cultured.
They're not cultured. They've never been anywhere. They've probably lived in the same little hometown, and the farthest they've went, it was on
to that construction site?
To that construction site. Sleeping in a hotel by themselves. Somebody's still making their bed for them. And there's don't get me wrong now. I'm not
Okay.
bashing the construction
No.
community, but
That's okay. But we
I've
have
been there.
someone who only holds a PhD and someone who only had or has a high school diploma up until a year ago when he did a semester or 2
year
semesters of college.
Of college, and that doesn't equate to anything. I can't put that on my resume.
But you have your CDL and you've gone and done places.
Truck
Yeah, but
drivers
truck
aren't much
drivers are
fucking
just
better.
as bad.
Matter of fact, those guys are even whinier little bitches. What do you mean I gotta park over there and walk there?
What?
In
No,
the
yeah,
That's
they're
me.
just as bad.
Toilet.
Huh?
Everybody's
And they
just
can't
whiny.
make it in the fucking toilet.
I mean, in their defense, they do have to hike 2 miles to get to the toilet, and by then it's
Not
bird
at
dogging
my
like a
Oh my god!
motherfucker.
I watched a video
Not
the
at my
other day.
terminal.
Oh, is there a story?
You know, he's not wrong. Like, if you've ever worked in the trucking industry, the
do you
truck
wipe just as
terminal,
much shit as I do as a nurse?
the truck terminal bathrooms are worse than the truck stop bathrooms.
Oh God, Indiana Transport was terrible.
It was so
The
fucking
women's
bad.
Bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, normally in a situation like that where it's like a little bitty room and you've only got like maybe 50 people in and out of there at 2 a.m., I would choose the woman's bathroom because it's going to be cleaner. Not at Indiana Transport.
You have to go in
We
and
don't even
destroy it.
have a women's bathroom at my terminal.
You just
Is it
have
just
a
unisex?
unisex?
We have one unisex where there's one toilet and then a men's restroom.
What the fuck?
I feel discriminated against.
So does every other woman that works there.
I saw a
I
video
feel like they have ground to stand on there.
Probably.
of a dude. The wife was in the truck videotaping him. They're like, and on today's episode, we're gonna try and see if he can make it to the bathroom, and he like was walking, and then he'd stop, clench his butt cheeks, and then hold them, and then he'd keep walking a little bit, and then he'd stop, clench his butt cheeks, and hold them.
Like with his hands?
Yeah.
He would hold his butt cheeks together with his hands?
Yeah, but he made it about 90% of the way to the truck stop, and then stopped, dropped his head, and then turned around and started walking back. And she's like, "Oh, the walk of shame."
I'm part of a lot of groups still from when I was trucking. Mm-hmm. They're starting to put bidets apparently in the truck stop bathrooms. So a little bit of interesting knowledge. You know, the Indian community.
I have to fart.
No. You don't want this smoke.
She has rank ass, bro.
I can fart right now.
Like if I'm holding it, I'm clenching my butt cheeks.
Hold it with your hand.
I'm gonna let one rip.
But they're putting bidets. What? It sounded like you cracked a knuckle.
I literally thought
I would not call that ripping.
She cracked a moose knuckle.
I don't have a moose knuckle. You have a moose knuckle.
Just think for a second, though, of our uncultured society. A little tidbit. Indians would take, like, Coke bottles, like the plastic Coke bottles, poke holes in the lid. And, yeah. Well, it's because of that, what you just did. And they would use those to shoot water down their ass crack to make sure their butthole's clean, because in other countries, bidets are way more widely used.
It's not just Indians. It's Middle
But mostly
Eastern
Middle Eastern
in
people
general.
would have like a bottle. You'd see them fill it at the sink and carry it into the stall with them, and then they'd throw it away on their way out the door.
At least I don't reuse it.
But they're putting bidets in at truck stops, and I've seen it all over my Facebook. People are like, "What the fuck is this?" And people are like, it's a water fountain. Turn it on and take a drink, because it's shaped weird, and it's not on the toilet. It's its own little porcelain thing next to the toilet that's much lower to the ground. So it almost looks like a flat urinal. And it's got
So it's
two
like a
little knobbies
squatty
on
thingy.
it. Yeah. And you squat over it, shoot the water at your butthole, and then
Are you sure
wipe
it's a bidet and not a squat toilet?
I was
Yes.
gonna say there's squat toilets.
yes, it's not a squat toilet. It is a bidet. It has things to turn.
Because culturally,
fountain
that's
on.
also the normal toilet in
Yes.
That happens.
However, people have said they've turned the knob and shot themselves in the face from the contraption.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, like, but yeah. So trucking is its own animal. We've been over that several times, but I remember how we got here. Oh, yeah. So what should I do? Construction's not it. Trucking, I can't do anymore. It's official. I've lost my CDL.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Did you not renew it?
I couldn't. So I'm on medications, and I have to be able to pass a physical every couple of years, put that on my license. And I got a letter over a month ago saying that they needed a new DOT physical
Yeah.
like 2 days after I ate a weed gummy.
Ah,
And I was like, oh, well,
shit.
ain't gonna pass that.
Nope.
Yes, Ghost.
Although they don't drug test you for your physical.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. They're checking your diabetes, like your sugar levels.
The one I went to tested for drugs.
They make you pee in a cup, but they don't drug test.
Doc Sellers made me drug test because it's the cup that has all the like tests on the outside of the cup, and they peel the little sticker off, and it tells you like whether you have meth or heroin.
Oh, the one I went to didn't drug test. They just checked your sugar levels.
Ghost was first.
So the job you've got right now, if you were higher up in that, I feel like you'd be good at that.
I told him he should start like a company where he goes to companies and just digs up all the fucked up bullshit that's causing problems with the company.
So like a revamping company.
Kind of.
Basically, what Gordon Ramsay did on Hell's Kitchens.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah, Kitchen Nightmares. Ramsay Kitchen
Would it be corporate nightmares?
Yeah.
Have a whole TV show about it.
TM.
I think they already
TM?
have one. It's called Undercover Boss.
Yeah, but that's different. They're hiding.
Well, not only that, but like the boss. Here's the issue that I'm running into. Can I have a drink of water? I'm like dying.
If there's any water in it.
Is there water in it? Okay.
One of these days I'll get to drink an entire bottle of my own water.
You do it all the time, bitch. Don't even.
We'll have to wait till he's dead.
Not when you're around.
The problem that I run into when I get in these situations is the bosses don't listen.
Well, that's the thing is, if you started your company, they would be the ones hiring you.
Yeah, but they also hired Gordon Ramsay, and there were several times he was kicked out of restaurants because they didn't want to hear what the fuck he had to say.
Well, that's
That's their problem. You've already been paid.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've already been paid for it.
So it sounds like you get paid to not have to deal with it.
I also don't think I have enough experience in the corporate world to really be able to nail that shit down.
But a lot of the stuff that you're talking about that's an issue with your current position is not corporate world specific stuff. It's common sense stuff. Like, you have to talk to the people that are under you or beside you in order to get a project moving at a steady pace. Keep it moving. There has to be communication, and that's
Like a teacher
an area of struggle for everyone, it seems.
Yeah. Huh. I don't know. I'm just kind of... I know if I went back to school what I'd want to go for, but I was telling her it's kind of useless. She wanted to be an archaeologist and wanted to go and do the pyramids and all that whole thing.
Yeah.
But it's not practical. We wouldn't be able to support her family on that. So she became a nurse.
I'd have a family.
I would like to
Yeah,
become
I
a
would be able to
theoretical
travel.
physicist,
Yep.
but it wouldn't be like, apparently they make an ass ton of money. But it wouldn't be practical because I'd do 6 more years of school just to get to that point.
Yeah. Like, I'd love to
If
be,
you made it through those 6 years.
what the fuck is it called?
I don't know.
They're forensic anthropologist.
They're the ones who do like the crime scenes or like
Yeah, but they mostly mess with like skeletons, bones.
historical crime scenes.
Kinda, yeah.
Like unsolved
mass
shit.
murder, like mass graves, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Depending on which direction you go with it.
That would be
Mass
pretty
graves are easy to find what actually happened to them. All you got to do is look in the government record book.
Well, the thing is that they're trying to figure out who is in the mass grave.
Oh, children
Mostly, yes.
Yeah.
And Jews, yes.
Yeah.
and Jews.
Specifically, native children.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
That reminds me, we went
Canada.
on a hike last week and we found actually a really nice trail down at Onondaga State Park.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was there. It takes you up on the bluff and then takes you down and around. First off,
Which is that's in Leesburg, right?
Yeah.
Mhm. I guess there's like a Boy Scouts camp.
Yeah.
Down there. Never been there before, but the trail wraps around and
Thank
crosses the
God,
road
it'd be
twice.
weird if you had.
Well, I was a Boy Scout.
What's wrong with you?
So we made it to the halfway point and then ended up walking down to the Boy Scout camp. And while we were there, we found 2 female drunk cousins that were very intimate.
Well, we're assuming they were very intimate because they apologized for their behavior when we weren't even paying attention
Yeah,
to them.
they didn't know we were on the other side of the bank, and they were very obviously fucking trashed.
I don't know how they didn't see us coming up because I was wearing the brightest yellow shorts I
Again,
own.
they were absolutely fucking trashed. And I watched one kind of get up and tried to get up, eventually got there, waddled over to the other female individual and got real close to their ear and said something in like a very flirtatious manner and then sat down. And then I guess shortly after they realized we were there and she's like, "Oh, hi, didn't know you were there. It's okay. We're cousins." What you saw wasn't inappropriate.
Uh-huh. I think it makes it more inappropriate.
Why would you call out your cousins if you're doing inappropriate shit? Like, what the fuck?
What is this, Alabama?
But anyways, we come walking back and you have to go through the little park. And I was like, I just looked at Alyssa and I was like, I don't know why, but I feel like there's dead bodies buried here.
That's what you should be a dog or do.
A
I should be a dog?
You should be a
just goes and
cadaver
sniffs out
sniffer.
the dead bodies.
I don't know where
Yeah,
they're
there you
located.
go.
I just figured, I feel like there's dead bodies buried over here
However,
somewhere.
my response to that was maybe, but I feel like it's too rocky. You would have to be very dedicated to build a grave deep enough in that area.
Yeah. Yeah. It'd be very difficult.
Or not.
What?
How long was there a dead body out by mom and dad's old house
Not very
off that
long.
gravel road in a blue, bright
Tupperware.
blue storage container?
To be fair, it was on private property, though.
It was back in the woods.
In the winter, when there's no leaves on the trees or bushes to hide anything.
And it was half buried. It wasn't just sitting out
Yeah.
there.
half buried.
Yeah.
Well, I think it had, when spring came, been unearthed by the rain.
And it wasn't there for very long.
No. We've got an unreasonable amount of dead bodies found in our area in my lifetime.
There was quite a few last year in Sullivan.
I don't
think
feel
there
like
was
it's
2
an
or 3.
unreasonable amount when you think of how many meth heads we have.
Factual information.
I wonder how many of them were killed.
Like drug cartel?
Or no, just like killed, like murdered, or if they just kind of laid down and died somewhere.
Did you?
Well, that's like that one guy that was found right off of the overpass in Sullivan. They were a veteran.
Well, there was
This was
somebody that was
years
hit
ago.
last year on the highway and left for dead.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody laid in the trunk of their car in Burger King's parking lot.
No, that wasn't Burger King. That was Dairy Queen.
No, it was Burger
It was
King.
Burger King.
Oh, I thought it was Dairy Queen.
No, it was right across
right
right next to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, and
That was months.
and the fucked up part is there were several people calling the cops, going, "There's a really bad odor coming from this car in this parking lot, and it's been there for a long time."
Not very long ago.
It was a couple years
It
ago,
was a few years ago.
probably 5 or 6.
So one of the guys that I work with was telling a story when he was working at the sawmill down here that this guy had like been to the sawmill and was riding around with his dead wife in the trunk of his car, and was bragging to people about his dead wife being in the trunk of his car, and nobody believed him until one day they were like, something smells like raunchy as fuck coming out of the back of your car. So they made him go out. Cops were called, and they went out there and opened the trunk, and his dead wife had been in there for like a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But that was right down here at Sawmill.
I mean, that's
Delicious.
that sounds fucked up, but that's like a normal joke. Like, yep, killed my wife.
Put her in the trunk of my car.
Yep.
At some point, you would think, like, if somebody consistently made that joke, you'd be like,
But at the same time, if they don't laugh about it too, because I feel like when you started laughing, he just kind of looked at you like,
no, I'm serious.
It's not a joke.
"It's not a joke, bro." Like, she's back there.
You want to see it?
Are we recording?
Yeah. Been recording.
Said make sure.
Just making
Oh,
sure.
yeah, no, that's a good idea. Hopefully we've got, yeah, look, I can see the bar moving. We're good.
So what
there.
job would I be good at? I hate
Selling
you.
crack.
I knew I shouldn't have asked that.
You need one more face tattoo.
It's on the way.
He's getting another head tattoo.
Yep. I'm about to get a huge one.
I don't know, man. Like,
He's got one.
You already got one.
I think you're too, I don't give a fuck to be management.
All down the side of his head. What?
I don't think you'd do well in management. No. You were our manager for the company for maintenance and shit, and that didn't go so well.
Listen here, you son of a bitch. No, fuck you on that. Fuck you on that.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Is that your argument?
Yep.
I have so many. You don't want this conversation. Because fuck you.
Look, in his defense, working under you is nearly impossible.
1,000%.
Okay, but you left the thing dangling under the truck when you
That
pulled the
was
spare tire
fine,
off.
okay?
That's what I'm
That
talking
was
about.
fine. It was a lifted truck. It was well over a foot off the ground. Okay? Nothing happened to it. Nothing was going to happen to it.
He was fishing for tumbleweeds.
Other things, such as, Mister, I'm going to complain every time someone calls me for an issue. However, we have to call you for issues to make sure we have the money to do so, or make sure the funds got transferred to our cards, which was also an issue for you. Only allowed to do oil changes.
That wasn't an issue for me. It was an issue for Indiana Transport. They had trouble doing that shit. Because I had to call those transfers in.
Either way. Either way.
Anyway, I'm trying to figure out what you'd be good at. I'm just saying.
Well, don't be trying to come attack me.
I'm not. That's the thing. I wasn't attacking you.
Did that for a
I don't think fleet manager would work for you.
I don't know. I can only really see people as what they are already. I can't really think of other.
But I've been a lot of things already, so.
Right, but
No,
like I feel like the job you're at kind of fits you, just because that's where you're at right now.
All right, Alyssa, what do you think I should be? I could be. I'd be good
A
at
trash panda.
I like it.
I really hate that term.
Why?
Why?
It's cute.
Because I'll explain later.
He also hates.
What do you mean
it
you'll
when
explain later? It sounds like a
listens to
perfect...
music without words in it and plugs the vacuum in the hallway instead of the office when he's vacuuming.
Oh, does it have to do with somebody? I'm just asking. Like, you don't have to get into detail.
You just not?
The listeners are wondering. I'm not going to give them the... You can't say I hate that. I'll talk to you about it later. We're on a show.
I can. I just did. Hey, I'll talk to you about it later. Shut up.
That's better.
I'll just throw in a shut up.
I don't know. Yeah, no.
What about me?
I didn't get an answer.
I don't know.
Motorcycle mechanic.
That'd be fun.
He doesn't want to do that.
No, I
feel that look you're giving me. Because he speaks on my behalf all the time when I'm standing right next to him, and it's completely different than what's going through my head.
Either motorcycle mechanic or tattoo artist.
I wouldn't be.
Or maybe piercer.
I wouldn't be a piercer either.
Okay, so motorcycle.
He can draw,
motorcycle mechanic.
apparently. He can draw.
I used to be able to draw. I don't anymore. I haven't drawn anything in years. However, we're going to go back to this motorcycle mechanic thing. So, as everybody here knows, I'm going to tell the public now, as everybody here knows, I have a motorcycle. The engine's fucked on it. And I have an opportunity to pay $1,700 from the biggest distributor of used motorcycle parts in the country. Okay?
Yeah, because they don't make engines anymore.
They don't make engines for my motorcycle anymore. They don't make them anymore. And it's been pressure tested, it's been looked at, it's been made sure that it runs. And it comes with a warranty, not a long warranty, because the engine's fucking 20 years old.
Yeah.
And it's a motorcycle. So my thought process is I could buy another engine, install it, and I'd be able to ride this year in a timely manner.
Mm-hmm.
He is dead set on rebuilding it, which I have no problem with. I'll pull out the other one and I will take it all apart. But it's going to take time. It's a process. None of us have the time to sit down and completely focus on this one thing.
Yeah.
None of us do.
I would go with your plan and rebuild it after you get another one.
He thinks that we will be able to get it done in 2 to 3 days. And he says, I didn't say that. You said that to me on the phone.
With at least 4 bolts that are left over.
Okay, now let me make a point. I've been
done.
Okay.
I'm not done.
Well, I have to make a point on something you said earlier, because if not, it won't
All right, go
make
for
sense. So you're going to the largest engine distributor, and for that reason, you should trust that you're going to get a good engine.
It was recommended to me by 3 shops alone.
I hear you, but I guess we should always go to McDonald's for hamburgers because they're the largest hamburger distributor.
It's the largest and most reputable one.
Right,
And
but the amount of people that have hands in how your hamburger comes out, and yet I can't get it with extra fucking pickles and no
Listen,
cheese.
let me say something real fast.
Different.
Not only that, it's whatever the fucking word, reputable, whatever. But it has all these tests already done, and it comes with a warranty.
And you're
Most
also
places
not
aren't
going to
gonna
go
give
to
you a
fucking
warranty.
Jack.
But how
hold
much-
On, hold on, shut up. You're not going to go to Jack in the Box and they're going to tell you, "Oh no, we make burgers here. We work on these things here, but you should go to McDonald's to get the better burger."
Well, they don't
I
distribute
told-
engines out of those shops. They just put them in.
Or rebuild
They
them.
do distribute and rebuild, just not of my particular age. My motorcycle's too old for a lot, even the biggest fucking dealership in Missouri to work on.
Did he say how much the rebuild kit is, though?
No. Yes, it's anywhere between $500 to $1,000 for the rebuild kit, depending on which one you get. They all come with different parts. However, it's the time thing and the fact that we've never rebuilt a motorcycle or any engine for that matter.
Right, but I also brought up the fact that the amount of time it's going to take to come up with an extra $1,700 is equivalent to buying the $500 rebuild kit and then rebuilding your engine.
Yeah, maybe the first time, but I guarantee you it's not going to be completely done right the first time.
Well, don't fuck it up.
Especially if I'm working with you, mister. I snap a bolt by looking at it.
I have 2 comments on this.
Yes.
My first one, you said to me last night, I could get this and then rebuild it, and then I have 2 engines.
Mm-hmm.
But does the one that you purchased come with a core charge?
No,
Like,
I
will they
asked.
want you to? Okay. My second thing is, this motherfucker to my right says last night,
That's me, by the way.
we can put in the new one or we can rebuild it in the same amount of time.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
it. That's
Couple
all I wanted
hours
to say.
difference.
It's not a couple. It's days.
It's days.
The engine is it's like taking apart a lawnmower engine. There's so little stuff to take apart and put back together.
It's a
That's
little-
what you do. You
it's
just
a
go
little
buy a
different.
fucking lawnmower
There it
and
is.
put a lawnmower engine in it.
No.
We'll just pull the one out of the Cobalt and stick it in there.
Yeah, there you go.
Out of Sarah's Cobalt.
I think you're on the right track here, the right idea. What I think you should do, I would do if I were in your situation. Go ahead.
Old sweet penis over here.
Yep. Take the sweet penis advice. Go ahead and buy the new engine. Put it in. Rebuild the old one. And when you get it rebuilt, either if it runs better, put that one in your motorcycle and sell the other one. Whichever one's running better, sell the shittier one.
I don't have the conscience to do that.
Okay, so make them run equal.
My other thought here is you could get halfway through your engine, you could at least get it apart to see what was wrong with it, because I feel like with the noise it's making, it's going to be blatantly obvious. And then be like, oh, you could get halfway through and be like, oh, it just needs a new ring.
Well, obviously, I'm not going to go buy them an engine right now. Like we do have plans to take it back in the basement. I'm going to start tearing it all apart. But I just feel like it wouldn't be a bad idea to go ahead and buy a second engine just in case. That way I can have one that I can run and ride. But you were so against that.
Just throw a turbo on it when you're putting it back together.
Honestly, I thought about rebuilding it with power. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, that's what I said to him when he first initially presented this issue to me was, you know, if he rebuilds it, then he can rebuild it to the specs that he wants. The time frame was not brought to my attention actually until just now because you're wanting to ride it before
I want to
like
ride
this
this
summer.
year. I want to ride this year.
That
But for $1,700, you could also just go buy another bike.
I've also thought about that. I'm not going to lie. I've thought about going and buying another bike, but one for $1,700 is going to be almost the exact same condition as mine was.
Honestly, what you were talking about doing last night, where you're filing a certain thing and then going and buying the Scout that you want, that way you have a bike to ride while you rebuild this one, that'd probably be the route I would go. Because it's actually going to... You'll have a turnkey bike that's ready to go that has a long warranty on it.
I was looking into Scout prices last night and Harley prices last night, and I think it'd honestly be a lot easier for me to go out and purchase a brand new, like, well, they don't make the R6 anymore, so like an R7 or something equivalent to like a Honda CBR, because a CBR 600 is like $9,000 brand new. A Honda Scout, or not a Honda Scout, a Indian Scout, what I would want is like $16,000 brand new still.
I will bring this to your attention. Callie can attest to this. Callie has a reasonably high credit score for someone in her early 20s. And the fucking payments they were presenting her with on the R7 or R6 that she
It was R7.
wanted to buy last summer.
And not only
Summer
the
before, I think.
payments, but also, so they mark it up from the MSRP. And then the payments were really high. And then I talked to my insurance provider about how much the insurance on that R7 was going to be. And it was like $400 a month.
That's
much were
why
the
I
payments?
mentioned Harley. Though.
Payments were like $400.
That's why I mentioned Harley, though, because they have their own lender, Harley Lending, and Harley Lending does different than any other lender out there.
Is Indian?
I don't think so. That's the thing that I think that's the only reason Harley's still around, because you got a bunch of broke ass bikers with bad credit scores just trying to ride.
Is 95 horsepower on Harley decent, or is that like
Is a what?
95?
I would say that's
horsepower
pretty decent.
On a
Harley?
bike? Yeah.
on a Harley.
It depends
Sportster.
if it's a full dress. No.
It's not a full dress. It's the Sportster. It's basically.
Then yeah. I mean, I rode Orens. It had plenty of power for a single rider. You throw two people on it, it's not great. I wouldn't take it on the highway. You'd have 220-pound people on that bike.
I would do some more research on it.
Yeah.
Well, I've been looking at them, and then I think the next step up is like 101 or 109 or something like that. But it's also like $4,000 more.
Yeah. It's kind of like when we bought the Teslas. Like, people give us shit for buying brand new cars. And it's like, yeah, no, you're right. My $800 a month payment for a $52,000 car was a really stupid idea when I could have bought a $25,000 car and had a $1,200 a month payment. That's what interest is right now. On used vehicles, interest rates are through the roof.
Yeah.
You buy a new vehicle, you get this stupid low interest rate that makes your payment cheaper than buying a used car.
My new car, the interest rate was really good. And then his, whenever he got his Jeep, is outrageous.
Because it's used.
Because it's used.
Right. 18%?
18%.
What was yours on your new car?
I think it's like 3 or 5%.
That's what it was when we were looking at buying, when I got rid of the truck and I was looking at a vehicle that was nice, could do sales in and all that.
Yeah.
Any used vehicle I looked at, you were looking at like 18, 20% interest. And then we went and looked at a new one and they're like, yeah, 3.5% interest. And I'm like, my credit score hasn't changed. Between these two, I don't fucking understand how the used car market's even functioning now because of that.
Because the idea that it's better to buy a used car for cheaper than a new car.
People don't understand how much interest is going to be.
Granted, also, a lot of times the payments on used cars are more than they are on new cars because the term on the loan is
Shorter. That too.
And we had a 3-year loan on that F-350 out there, or a 4-year loan on the F-350 out there, which will basically have it paid off in a year and a half. Everything's going to principal now.
Right.
But if we'd have gotten a new one, your $60,000 truck payment was only a couple hundred more than the $12,000, $14,000. I guess that one was $27,000.
Is it possible? So, like, let's say you make your monthly payment, right? Already, and you're wanting to put more towards your loan to like pay it off more, like quickly. Is there a way that you can make that extra payment only go towards your principal?
Yes.
Yeah. Every time you make an extra payment after you've made your regular one, it should go to principal.
No, it will not automatically go to principal with a lot of places. Some places, yes, it will automatically go to principal. But a lot of places, you have to call and make the extra payment and tell them this is a principal-only payment.
Really?
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
Otherwise, they'll just say, oh, you just made the next payment on your car.
Early, yeah. That's what mine's doing. Like, if I make an extra payment on the app, it'll be like, oh, well, you don't have to make another payment for 3 more months.
Really?
Yeah, because it pays in advance for all these extra months.
That's stupid.
So I was like, I wonder if I can pay towards my principal instead of paying.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to call.
As long as it's not a loan where they don't allow early payoff.
No, mine does. I made sure of that whenever I bought my car.
Yeah, then you should be good. Speaking of selling and buying stuff, I don't have my phone in here to look, but I had a guy 2 months ago come down, look at that F-350 we have outside. He gave me $1,000. He told me in a couple of weeks he'll have the rest of the money. It was selling it for $14,400.
Yeah.
Okay. So now he owes $13,400.
Yeah.
Okay. Stayed in contact for a good week or two, and then a family emergency happened. He actually ended up leaving the country for like a week.
Or more.
And it took him an extra 2 weeks before that happened. Communication slowed down a lot. Now I'm texting him, calling him. He's not responding to me anymore. And I've had to make multiple payments on the truck since then.
Yeah.
Like, at what point are you like, sorry, bro, no deal?
I mean, didn't he sign a contract with or something about that $1,000?
We just have it in text messages back and forth. But I told him when he gave me the $1,000, I said, this is going straight to the bank, like towards the truck. That way, when you bring me the rest, it's paid off because I'm just selling it for payoff.
I mean,
and he's like, yeah, no, I'm buying the truck. And I was like, I cannot refund this to you if you decide you're not getting the truck. I'm getting the truck. And now I've called and texted him several times and he's not responding at all.
I don't know what to do in that situation.
Like, I feel like a
gonna
dick
have to
for being
listen
like, thanks for the $1,000, bro, especially since you had shit happen in your family. But at the same time, like,
yeah.
communicate with me at least and let me know where you're at, what you're thinking, how long it's going to be. I'll work with you. I told him I'd work with him. If you got another grand or whatever, throw it at it. So that way I'm not making the fucking payments and I'm not paying extra interest on top of it. Because had I left it on the dealership lot, it might have sold already.
That's a difficult situation. Speak to an attorney.
Jeff?
I'll be your attorney. Well, looks like you got a free $1,000. Now I'm going to need my fees.
I'm just saying, I don't know what to do in this situation.
Usually the first is free. Consultation's free.
Truth.
Like, all I got to do is that,
we
like,
didn't
14
sign
more
any
times and the
paperwork,
truck's
so.
paid off, right?
Yeah. Just keep doing it.
Just tell people, yeah, give me $1,000 down, and then a couple months later, they don't come get the fucking thing and just list it again and get another $1,000 down, and or eventually somebody will bring me the rest of the money.
Eventually. Maybe.
Yeah, when it's worth like $5,000 because everybody else has paid it down to that point.
That's when you still just sell it for 14.
Yeah, I'm just mind blown. Like, if I had $1,000 out there, I would definitely be on top of that. Hey, bro, I'm still working on it. Please don't sell the truck out from under me.
Yeah. Especially if you already gave him $1,000. I would be worried about that unless you just have money to blow, I guess.
He does not, from what I understand.
Oh.
I'm okay with it going either way. We
So-
loaded the kayaks up into it the other day and took them down to the river. Without that truck, we can't just load the kayaks up and go down to the river.
And I got burned.
Was the river still up pretty good?
No.
No, it was down quite a
It was
bit.
down.
That's good.
Part of it, we went down to Sappington, or not Sappington Bridge, Campbell. Is that Campbell Bridge off of N?
Yeah.
And to that boat put in there, because we usually go to Blue Springs and put in like where everyone swims. But
Yeah.
I'm like, we haven't been up river from this bridge ever. And so we put in there and we made it maybe 0.2 of a mile upriver. And it was so shallow right there where it was rapidy that you couldn't dig deep enough to get any power. So you would just or I was having issues. I would row on one side and my boat would just go.
Yeah. You're
And
going
then-
this way, actually.
Yeah. And then I do it on the other side and it would go. And I'm like, I want to go that way. And my boat's like, meep.
I want to go the other way, actually.
Yeah, it was a bitch getting through those. I made it through. Her and I made it through the first one. After she yelled at me, I'm not moving. I'm like, you're moving. You're just moving very little bits at a time. Keep rowing.
Very little bits at a time, side to side.
Yes, but
So
she
you're
still
putting
made
way
it.
more effort into it than need be.
And then we made it to
Yes.
the second one, and she got like a quarter of the way into it. It was like, I'm out. Fuck this.
yeah, I don't
My
row
arms were
upstream.
dead. I have no upper body strength. I don't know what you
But
want
you
from
do.
me.
Yeah, you roll patience.
I do, but they are also on the bed, so I have leverage.
So
That's
I
true.
guess you need to be on the river on a bed.
Mattress.
Air mattress floating is the best floating.
It is pretty
The
good.
amount of looks we get when we used to do that.
Why, though? It's a big floaty.
Because people just didn't. The one time I almost lost my nuts doing that too.
That was a boat floating.
That was an
actual
inflatable
raft?
boat. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was an inflatable raft that we bought at
You were
Walmart.
with us, weren't you?
It was for my birthday.
I almost lost my nards.
We had
Yeah.
to flip it over.
And then I think you guys
And it
popped it
was-
again, didn't you?
No,
Oh.
but we were at almost the very beginning of the float when this happened. It was maybe a half mile down the river, going around the big left-hand turn, and we got too far on the outside of the turn, and there's a big old tree down.
Them damn sticks.
Right in between my legs.
Yeah,
At
Right
least it
through the
didn't
raft.
pop the outer ring, which is
Yeah.
the floating part.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't like floating.
Floating is fun. Well, sort of.
So professional floater is not in the works for you either.
No,
Okay.
Why don't you like floating?
it's just not a fun time.
Is it because you don't know how to swim?
No, I don't have any problem being on the river or at the river or lakes or oceans. Floating is my least favorite pastime on the river.
That's fair. To each their own.
I mean, it's fair, but I feel like it's because you haven't been floating with the right people.
I don't think you've ever gone with us.
I don't think I'd enjoy it.
The people you went with, were they drinking
Wow.
and stoned all the time?
Not both times. No, I've been floating twice and they were both terrible.
Really?
Yeah.
I know. We'll go get a canoe and you can go float with Van.
I'm good. I have no desire to ever go floating again.
What about just kayaking?
Maybe.
Kayaking is a little better.
Yeah. You're in control of your own vehicle.
Yeah.
And nobody can flip it for you.
And if you're tired of being on the river, you can paddle to get there faster.
This is like both floats I went on were like, oh, it's going to be like a 3 or 4 hour float. Fine, whatever. But when it turns to an 8-hour float because
People stop and take their
they
time.
stop and take their time, like that's not fun for me.
Yeah.
It's not interesting. And then I also don't like being on the river with nothing but a bunch of fucking drunks. I hate that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate
Yeah.
being around drunk people unless it's like a secluded area and it's like a good time for everybody.
We all went on a float after we graduated the nursing program.
Oh, God.
And I am one of the few people that was in my nursing program that doesn't drink. Like, I will drink, but not.
Didn't
To
I
the
have
point
to
that I'm
carry
drunk.
drunk people?
Yes, actually. Well, you didn't have to carry them, but you had to flip. I can't think of her name right now off the top of my head. You had to get her and put her back in her boat because she couldn't get back in the boat.
Jesus.
And everyone else in the boat was too drunk to get her back in the boat,
Yeah.
including her boyfriend.
There's one time I was floating with a few friends, and one of your neighbor,
Yeah.
she got really drunk, and everybody else was like, "Oh, we're gonna go over to the other side of the river, just swim across, jump off this little bluff," and she was like, "I'm coming too," drunk as hell. She gets over there, and I'm over there, and she's hanging on to the bluff because she can't climb the bluff, so she's just hanging on, waiting for everybody to go back. And she was like, "I can't get back," or she started going back, and I was like, "Fuck." She starts drowning, and I'm like, is nobody going to help? So I'm like,
No.
I grabbed her, and I'm swimming across the river, and I'm like, fuck, she's going to drown me.
Yeah.
I hate that shit.
Like just going on the kayaks, taking your time, floating
Chilling.
down, listening to nature, watching the fish, and
The only thing that
stopping to swim.
The only thing that I don't like about the kayaks is I'm very much I like getting a tan type of person, and it's really hard to kayak on your belly.
Yeah.
So
Unless you get
only
an
the
open
front
way.
half.
No, mine's really hard to.
You have an open one?
Yeah, I just sit on the top of it.
Maybe get a wakeboard instead or something.
Either way, you're going to have to control that bitch as it goes down the river.
Unless you get into like one of those slow areas.
Yeah.
That's when you flip over.
That's when I flipped the whole thing over.
Jesus.
That's him in a canoe.
Which, by the way, speaking of drinking, I owe an apology. Billy. You want to hand him the microphone? I owe you an apology.
Okay.
A couple episodes ago at the end of it, I mentioned that we should all drink and do a recording. And I forgot that you are still recovering.
From the last time. No, I'm kidding.
The last time we all drank. No, that don't bother me. No apology.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, I wasn't thinking it was insensitive. So I do apologize.
I'm not sensitive.
Don't cry. It's okay.
But it was brought to my attention like days later, and I was like, "Oh fuck!"
I didn't even pay that
think
no
about it.
attention. Like,
Someone posted in the group chat, I think it was Garrett, said, "I'll drink with you, buddy." And he was like, "Yeah, nobody else wanted to drink." And I was like, "Well, one of them's a recovering alcoholic, you asshole."
Yeah.
you dick.
Also, the
Fuck
name of that
you.
movie where I can't see through my eye holes, Blazing Saddles.
No, that's definitely.
Django?
Or
Yeah,
no,
Django
where the black dude kidnapped himself. The black sheriff kidnapped himself. The name of that was Blazing
Oh,
Saddles.
that's Blazing
That's
Saddles.
what I meant to say. Yeah.
Okay. But
And
no,
of course,
that-
Garrett came up with that.
Yeah, that's Django Unchained.
Yeah.
But no, that didn't. I didn't even pay you no attention.
Oh,
Like it
well.
doesn't bother me like at all.
Right. Now the next
Zero.
episode, you're gonna have to apologize to him for not paying any attention to him.
Damn,
No,
I owe
you're good.
you an apology.
Next episode.
And
Okay.
I haven't drank since New Year's Eve either.
When you broke your hand.
No, that was November.
Oh, okay,
Ish.
gotcha.
But I didn't really drink after that either.
A street lamp is still not the same.
With the exception
It's
It
not there
sits out there
anymore.
and flickers. Oh, it fell? Like it got taken down, huh?
No.
You took that motherfucker
I
out.
fucking knocked it over.
He went home and was like, fuck this world, I'm out. Just killed itself.
That's okay. His F-350 apparently could take the force of an entire semi and not have a dent. But I punched the tailgate one time.
Left a big ass dent in that motherfucking tailgate.
Nice.
Every time I walked by, I was like, bring it, bitch. I want
go.
that to my skull.
There's a difference. The semi hit, the plastic flap or the plastic wheel well. You hit aluminum.
Yeah, but you would the plastic wheel well is connected to the aluminum truck, and there was nothing where the wheel well was attached.
That has got to be my least favorite argument against Ford trucks. People talking about, yeah, fucking tin can.
Oh.
She punched it, and it dented.
There, punch him. See if he dents.
I think we're gonna need a little more like emotional
Devastation.
Yeah, okay, that's...
Well, let me tell you about the great fiasco.
I don't think it would cause any issues at this point.
Oh.
Okay. Where is my...
I do have a question for you. So you guys, you know how it's turkey season, right? And people have those little turkey calls.
I
knew it
thought
was
turkey
coming.
season was only in fucking fall. So that's news.
No, it's turkey season right now.
It doesn't make any sense. You think turkey season would be around Thanksgiving for sure.
You would think. It would make sense.
It would make a lot more sense.
But so they're doing these calls. Could you imagine being a turkey, right? Or any kind of animal that you can do a call for.
Uh-huh.
And you hear your own kind somewhere, right? And you walk up and you see this bald thing
Bald fat guy.
making the noises that you make, and it's about to kill you.
I mean, it's just like whenever you hear a mountain lion screaming, so you go looking for the screaming woman, and you get there, and it's a mountain lion. It's
Yeah.
about to kill you.
Well, here's what I wonder if we are the skinwalkers to the animal world.
I feel like this goes hand in hand with that. That I think you
Yeah.
asked about the dogs and us ripping
No,
our clothes off.
that was him. He had brought that up.
Oh.
But it's hand in hand. But like, if you really think about it, our tales of skinwalkers, like they lure you out by like sounding like somebody you know,
Uh-huh.
and then they
That turkey's like, oh, that's cousin Jerry.
that's my
Let's go
Jerry.
see him. I ain't seen him for oh my
What
god.
the fuck is that thing?
Jerry, what happened to you?
I have just as big of a mindfuck question.
Okay, 2 and 7.
No.
Okay,
Are cupcakes and muffins the same?
No. Insects.
incest.
Insects.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Incest is a real thing.
Insects.
Oh, it exists, buddy.
So time is relative. We don't have to get too deep into that, but depending on multiple factors, you experience time differently than other creatures, right? So a lifetime for an ant, years could go by, like dog years, right?
Yeah.
They experience time different than us. So insects,
Yeah, you walk outside, and then you walk back inside, Fancy's having a panic attack.
you go on a nature walk, right? And you see tons of animals and insects. You realize how many insects and animals you were the first human being that they've ever seen.
Yeah.
And what do they think of you?
Holy fuck! It's a giant.
Those shoes with that belt.
But the amount of creatures that you've run across or didn't even see, but they saw you, and you're the first human being they've ever encountered.
And then you squish
Damn,
him.
that thing's ugly.
Like we had a bee following us around the other day for what, like 6 minutes on our hike. It was just like humming 3 feet away because it's not gay. Just following us, like just sitting there watching.
Yeah, the buzzing was actually the.
Yeah, what is that? Is it trying to eat me or attack me?
What are they wearing?
But like an ant crosses your path and you walk past it. That was like a week to that ant of your foot falling.
I was
Oh,
going to say,
wasn't.
we were really slow to them, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we move slowly, but that's not a week to the ant because time is a social construct.
Correct. But the amount of time that passes for that ant, like, I don't know. It just fucks with my
Could
head.
you, like, it's kind of like if I saw something that was taking a day or 2 days to pass by me, I'd be like, that thing's gonna, it's crushing my house. Fuck. Now what is it gonna crush?
It's slowly crushing my house.
Yeah. My children are in there.
This
Fuck.
is torment.
Or
Can you just finish the job already? Fuck, thank you.
But in virtual reality, you get to kind of experience those time dilation differences, because if you get in like a little bitty avatar, the huge avatars around you will literally move at a much slower pace, and when you move, it's hard to control because you're zooming so quickly, like across the space.
Huh.
It's kind of cool to like understand that concept and then be like, oh my god, all these little creatures, you're the first giant fucking thing like this they've ever seen, and their short little lives that they live, like a year or two.
So you're giant, right?
Yeah, he is.
The way that our weight is distributed on our shoes, if you step on an ant, sometimes they won't get crushed. They'll be perfectly fine because of the distribution of your weight and the size of the ant. So do you think if you step on an ant, it thinks it is the strongest ant alive?
yes.
I stopped a fucking asteroid the other day, guys.
They go home and they're like, you guys wouldn't believe.
I shoved that motherfucker up, and it took like days, but it ended up flying away.
Yeah.
Look at this mark on my back. It says Adidas.
Adidas.
Also, when you're driving down the interstate, your car is the first and last car a bug ever sees.
What?
Because its ass goes right through its brain as it hits the windshield.
That's true.
Holy shit.
When is this
I don't know
cicada
if these
apocalypse
were-
going to happen?
I don't know, but we
Mid-May.
found one on the ground the other day.
Oh, we didn't look. We didn't go back that way.
We haven't gone yet, but we couldn't tell if it was molting or not. I took like a little video of it because it was an optical illusion. As you watched it, you thought you were seeing it move.
But it wasn't.
We don't
don't
know.
know.
Because we couldn't tell if it was an optical illusion, if we were just expecting it to move. So in our brains, it was just twitching a little bit, or one of those things. So
Yeah.
I took I put my phone down on the ground and videotaped it so that way the phone wasn't moving. I haven't watched the
But
video.
then whenever you're holding your phone,
I put the
you're
phone
moving.
on the ground,
No, I know. But whenever
Yeah.
you go to watch the video, you're like, no, it's moving, but your hands are just trembling.
potentially.
Did you know there's some ants that can live up to 28 years?
No shit. There are so many species of ants too.
I mean, my aunt is going to be somewhere in her 80s this year.
Jesus, we need to go visit her. we should call her.
You know,
Just send a postcard.
I always thought having like an ant farm would be really cool to like watch them build their tunnels and stuff.
Until it breaks.
Until it fucking breaks. I would literally burn my house down. I know they're just ants, but it would freak me the fuck out.
Did you ever have what were they? The
Sea monkeys?
sea monkeys? Did mom
Yeah.
ever get those for you?
Yeah, but I don't remember if they ever like lived or not. I think I might have just been seeing like the particles floating around.
The amount of sea monkeys during our generation that are just massacred from being
Yeah.
knocked off of shelves and
What the fuck actually are sea monkeys?
They're like
Shrimp.
little,
yeah, they're shrimp.
Is it?
They're like microscopic shrimp.
Well, they get pretty big. I had sea monkeys for a while.
Really?
Yeah.
And they got sizable? Mine never made it out of
weren't
like it need the magnifying glass stage.
They weren't like big enough to feed to anything, but like they were big enough to see.
I thought
Without
they were
the
just
magnifying
bacteria.
glass.
No. And the crazy part about a sea monkey is it stays in like an egg form until you put it in the water.
You know what I think
Which never made sense to me.
might have happened during that craze of sea monkeys? They're probably just loading that up with like sawdust and just like
Dumping
Give 'em
it
to
in
the
there. No,
kids.
but I could see the things moving through the magnifying. Like you could see the little.
yeah, but like what if not all of them?
Spirit fingers?
Yeah,
Some-
they had like spirit fingers when they would move.
Some
Finding
kids are
joy.
just like I don't think they're alive.
Oh, you think that
Just
craze
sawdust.
is going to come back around?
Sea monkeys?
Yeah.
I mean, chia plants have.
So did Tamagotchis.
Yeah.
Yeah, but aren't they called something else? No,
What?
Tamagotchis.
No, they came back out with Tamagotchis, and they're like
Oh.
$70 for the little fucking.
Jesus,
Yeah.
fuck that.
That thing would die so fast.
Buy an app on your phone.
Yeah, I think Delilah has one,
I
doesn't
have
she?
it now.
Yeah, no. Brain buster. Now I have a question for you guys.
No, we don't want to see your penis.
No.
Why is this so hard for you to talk about?
It's just, I'm trying to figure out how to approach this.
Just fucking spit it out.
I went to Mobile the other day, and I got a breakfast sandwich. No, I got the little egg scramblers that they have.
Yep.
Wow.
Little bowl.
And I asked for buffalo sauce. And the lady goes, yeah, it's right there. And I went, oh, the hot sauce? And she goes, yeah. And I was like, no, do you have buffalo? And she goes, it's the same thing.
No, it's not.
I'm like, excuse me? I wanted to go, and you're cooking the food right? Because I'm worried now. Because buffalo sauce and hot sauce are completely different fucking items. That's like saying salsa and taco sauce are the same thing.
Are they not?
No. What is the difference between them? Because I've never really thought about it. There is a difference, but like, what is the difference?
Buffalo sauce has like a buttery.
Is it mixed with ranch?
No. Buffalo sauce has. Okay, when we made buffalo sauce
That would be
at
Buffalo Ranch.
Dairy Queen, we had Frank's Red Hot Sauce, which was just hot sauce.
Yeah.
And we would mix it with liquid butter, therefore making buffalo sauce. So it's not all about the heat. It's also about the buttery, salty like flavor that comes with a little bit of kick at the end
Next
of it.
time, ask the bitch for some melted butter too.
But that doesn't work either, because you can't just go sticking any hot sauce in butter and make buffalo sauce.
I mean, you could.
I mean, there's other brands that make buffalo sauce. I'm sure they don't use Frank's Red Hot sauce.
No, but there's other types of like hot sauces you would mix with it. But just the thought that a cook looked at me, and this woman has worked there for
To
years.
be fair, they don't sit back there on like a stove and cook these things. It goes through a little conveyor oven. They just like put it on there, and it goes through and heats everything up.
But it's like, could you imagine making hot wings with just straight Tabasco?
I've done it.
You've just
Frank's
rolled,
Red hot sauce. Yeah.
but just Tabasco, because Tabasco is hot sauce.
There's a fucking frost advisory.
Yes,
What the fuck?
tonight and tomorrow, I believe.
What's
But buffalo sauce and hot sauce are not the same. And I don't know why, but I wanted to fight that day after hearing that.
that's
I
fair.
feel like was it yesterday? Because you wanted to fight yesterday too.
No, it was like a week ago. It was like the day after we recorded, and I was like, "Are you?" Well, here it's on April 12th at 8:07 a.m. I was told that hot sauce and buffalo sauce are the same.
But like, what do they put on their hot wings that they've
They
got
don't have
there?
hot wings.
Well, they've got the chicken tenders that they put hot sauce on.
Buffalo sauce.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure it's buffalo sauce.
Sure it is too.
It just irritates me. It just really fucking irritated me to look at a customer and go, "It's the same thing as buffalo sauce."
You know what irritates me? When I go out to eat somewhere with a certain someone, and he's like, "Hey, you should try this." I'm like, "Nah, I don't like that." He goes, "No, you should try it. It's really good." "No, I don't like that." "No, I promise you'll like it. It's really good. It doesn't taste the same everywhere else." And proceeds to get me a sandwich with horseradish sauce.
Does said
And guess
person
what?
have a sister?
He does.
Do you do the same thing, Callie?
No.
Do the same
No, I don't do the same thing. No, bullshit. It's things he's never tried before. Like the burrito tacos. He had never had them before. And I was like, well, you have to try them at least once.
You have to take a thank you bite, sweet penis.
Yeah, don't become grandpa.
Okay, I'm all for trying new foods, but I try it. But then I have to try it again from another place.
Yeah.
And then again from another place.
No,
Yeah.
no. I know I do not like horseradish sauce, man. I do not like it. I will not like it. I will never like it. Now with green eggs and ham, not under a lamb. I will not eat it.
What about on a train?
No. Nor in a plane.
No, but like the reason I ask him, I don't be like, well, you have to try this. I'm like, hey, do you want a bite? And he'd be like, no. And I'm like,
Look at
are you
this.
sure you don't want to bite?
Hang on. I'm very familiar with that look he just gave you. I get it all the time.
No. You're exaggerating.
Hell no.
What have I done it with?
Every fucking thing that you've made me try.
This
What?
sounds very
Give me an
familiar.
example.
It's like I've seen
And
this somewhere
the
before.
way she does it, it's not like, do you want to try this? It's like, I'm going to make you try this.
I do that.
I know of one thing you did that.
Open your mouth.
I
That
know-
is her terminology she loves to use. I'm going to make you do this. I'm going to make you do that.
I know of
I'm
one
like,
thing you did
okay.
that to him on.
I know what she means, but
Was
the
it
chocolate
envelopes?
milk?
No, it
Oh.
was chocolate milk, I believe, when you drugged him.
No, I just handed that to him and he drank it.
Yeah, that's drugging.
Yeah, but I didn't make him drink it.
Yeah.
I handed it to him and he drank it.
I mean, so
Did you steal my charger? Yeah.
I'm also
Where's yours?
a very adventurous eater, and I try to get these two to try things. She did not like sushi until I took her to a place that did good fucking sushi, and
Well,
now
that's-
she loves sushi. So I do think trying it at multiple places is definitely something you should do.
But
That's
there are
what I
very
think,
few
too.
places around here that I will eat sushi at.
Correct.
Because I don't trust sushi from the inside of the United States.
I have no problem trying new things, but when you
I was
tell
your
me-
first time for sushi, wasn't I?
I ain't talking about the sushi. I'm talking about the goddamn horseradish sauce.
Look, wrapping it in seaweed is not sushi.
Damn.
No, but I'm
just
the same
because
way.
it tastes like fish.
Because, like, you could get a really bad, I'm going to use tacos, for example. You can get a really bad taco, say, from the Mexican restaurant right down the road,
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, fucking Taco
Yeah, that's
John. Sorry,
awful.
Scott. That is garbage.
and get the same taco somewhere else, and it'd be 10 times better.
Yeah. Carne asada tacos. You can get really
Yeah.
good ones and really shitty ones.
So, like, if he got one and he didn't like it, I'd be like, okay, we'll try it from this place. You might like it.
And then there's times where you can go to the same place and try it twice. And one time it's really fucking good. And the next time it's absolute garbage. Like the taco place you and I found in Springfield. I went back there with Megan that one time I took her to lunch. There was like no flavor. And I'm like, what the fuck? I know this is the same place.
Yeah. It's really discouraging.
There was also a place we went to that moved buildings in between us eating it. And when we went back, it was like, wow, how does this new building turn it from amazing food to mediocre?
Mm-hmm.
It
New
required all the flavors from
The floor
old
and
building.
the old building. I'm just like, you should absolutely try stuff from different places and try it made differently. And
I'm not saying you got to order it.
horseradish sauce will
I'll
never
order
be
it.
one of those things.
yeah, you might find one way
No,
that you
I
like
will
it.
not.
Sauerkraut is another one.
Ew, no.
Some things are the same everywhere, especially if they're
You know what
condiments.
really blows my mind? People who are like, oh, I like KFC sauerkraut. It's the only place I like that.
That's
Are you
coleslaw.
calling out my daughter
Coleslaw.
right now? It's not about coleslaw. It's just she'll be like, well, I only eat wings from
Everything
this place.
tastes like
Yeah.
McDonald's French fries.
Oh my God, that one.
Yeah.
That's like saying hot sauce and buffalo sauce are the same. We took her to In-N-Out. You guys have had In-N-Out. You were in California.
Yeah.
She told me that In-N-Out French fries tasted like McDonald's French fries.
bullshit.
And we
Straight
were like,
up.
this is an insult to McDonald's
I was
French
like,
fries.
at this point, I'm calling bullshit, and I'm saying you're just saying it to stand on a hill and die on it for the
The
sheer
only
purpose
thing
to
that
stand on the
could
hill
be
and die on it.
somewhat similar to In-N-Out fries would be steak and shake fries.
Not even.
Steak and Frank.
I hate those.
I don't love
They're
them.
not even
too
string
small.
fries. In-N-Out fries weren't string fries.
Yeah, they're shoestring.
Yeah,
Or
they're-
maybe they're not meant
They're
to
like
be,
right in
but
between
they're-
shoestring and they're fatter, they're thicker, but they're
Not by much.
they're the lightest French fries I've ever held in my hand. They're mostly air.
Somehow they managed to deep fry just the outside of the
Like
fry.
they hollow the motherfucker out, and it tastes like even fresh out the fryer, like it's been sitting on the counter in the bag for a couple of days before they serve it to you.
I don't know. I'm pretty picky
Lion's
about my
choice.
fries.
And Five Guys.
Five Guys does have some bomb ass fries.
See,
Five Guys has the best
I
fries.
like them for about 2 minutes,
Which
and then I'm
ones?
like, Five Guys. And then I'm just like, I don't want them anymore. They're too greasy, and they got a whole fucking bag full.
What? Oh, the Five Guys comment?
I was thinking.
Oh, we know what you were thinking.
Yeah. No, I was thinking of a TikTok video I seen the other day. And it was the boyfriend asking his girlfriend, do you want Five Guys? And she was like, I mean, if that's what you're into, I guess.
That reminds me of the time I asked Callie just point blank if she's ever had Five Guys before, and Alyssa was
And
like,
I
"What
was
the
in the
fuck,
passenger
bro?"
seat going, why are you asking your 14-year-old sister this?
So
Yeah.
what was the answer?
Had I ever had it?
Yeah.
No, that was the first time I'd had Five Guys.
I took her to her
It was,
first
it was
time
pretty
Your
pleasure.
brother took you to your first time?
Yeah, it was
Wow.
pretty
Wow.
pleasurable.
having Five Guys. It's pretty pleasurable.
And then we took her out to eat at Five Guys Burgers and Fries.
yeah.
Oh.
Afterwards.
Good meal after a good workout, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. So how's the bike riding going for you two?
This is the first weekend we haven't gone.
Yeah.
Is it because you're saving your energy for
No, it's
fishing?
probably because they called me during my nap when we were supposed to go. Because I'm not allowed to take naps.
So wait, you were taking
God,
a
you're
nap
such
when
a
you were
bitch.
supposed to go on a bike ride?
Yeah. Well, I didn't know when they were getting back from St. Louis.
And so you took a nap?
Yeah, I was tired.
And then he woke up a bitch.
I woke up a straight bitch.
Fucking bitch.
Straight fucking bitch.
I was lashing out at anybody and everybody.
No, he was lashing out at me.
And him.
When did you talk to him? In fact, I gave you the opportunity to be a bitch to him, and you were like, no, just send him, yeah.
You were still in the room whenever he came back out. He's huffing and puffing and then arguing about everything I said. And then he called me an argumentative little bitch. I'm like, excuse me.
Yeah, no, I was a bitch to everybody for a couple
So
hours.
I called him yesterday to talk to him about my car. He said, are you going to stop at the vape store? I said, yeah. Text me what you need. An hour goes by and I'm like, hey, you suck at texting me what you need. And then I get to the vape store and I'm sitting there. I call him 3 times. And then I sent him a message that said, I'm going to cut you. And I messaged her to see if she was awake. Neither one of them were awake. So I sat there for a little bit and then I left. I even stopped in Sullivan to get some food. Okay. And then I come home and I get to my room and I lay down in my bed. And then he calls me and goes, hey, what? Where you at? In my bed? He goes, wow, kind of a cranky little bitch, aren't you? I'm like, I guess you didn't get babe juice? No, I didn't. And then he proceeds to tell me, you could have just went in and asked, what I normally
Yeah, I have
get.
a point system. You can go in there, give them my phone number. They can pull up my previous orders. Like,
I don't go to this vape store, but maybe once every 3 or 4 months, I either get my vape juice in Wentzville
order, please.
or he gets it for me. Because when he goes, he's like, hey, do you need vape juice? And I'll either be like, yeah, or no.
No, he'll just
Or
say
we'll just
yeah.
grab a
It's always
bottle.
yeah.
Well, here lately, it's been yeah because you've timed it every like 2 or 3 weeks to where you'll message me like, hey, I'm going to the vape store. You need juice? And I'm just like, yeah, actually, I do.
But
Perfect timing.
while he doesn't go to that store, I can understand like a gas station because like you guys usually pick yours up from the gas station, right? So they don't have like point systems or whatever. But a small store where they have a total of 4 or 5 workers that work there full time, like you could at least like I personally,
about that.
I could have I would have been like, well, I can't get a hold of him. Let me go in and see if maybe they recognize his name
mean,
or something. If
I
they
wouldn't
would
have
know.
done that either.
Hang on, because I heard him on the phone. And this was what I heard after he got off the phone. Stomps into the bedroom, flips on the light. I guess I have to go to Pacific when I didn't want to go to Pacific and get my own goddamn vape juice because anytime I ask anyone to do anything for me, they can't fucking do it.
Well, what's
That's
even
not what I
better
said,
is that
though.
we
In
were.
my defense, you asked me while I was getting ready for work, which I get ready for work at the very last minute because I use the pressure of having to leave and not be late for work to get ready.
And she was there 20 minutes early.
I sit out in the parking lot for
It
20,
would have taken you 5 minutes to
30
stop at the
minutes
vape store.
to ease into the fucking day.
Yeah.
Remember that time
And you
I've
couldn't have
been
been
there?
uncomfortable for me for 5 minutes.
Remember
It wouldn't have
those-
been uncomfortable for 5 minutes. It would have been uncomfortable for 12 hours. And I already had a shift where I was uncomfortable for 12 hours. So you can fuck right off.
Damn.
the days where I'm a plumber for you.
Yeah, what about it?
Yeah, and the days I put do
Bidet?
bidets on toilets. I think I'm about to shit soon.
Thank God there's a bidet in there.
I still haven't used that.
Have you shit in there?
Yeah.
You just like walking around with poop on your butt?
No,
Oh,
I
good
cleaned
Lord.
early.
No, you're not changing the subject.
Let's see what else.
Hey, man, we're probably not going to be home this weekend.
Is that code for you
And
asking me
okay,
to watch your kids?
I said
that's
what I
fine.
said very carefully to you for a reason. I said anytime I need somebody to stop and grab something for me, I usually end up having to do it my damn self.
Because anytime you ask someone, anytime you ask me, you do it when I'm already doing something and I don't have the time to allot
Yeah,
the time.
but when people
That's
ask me to
also
stop
not
and do
true.
shit for them, I make time to fucking do it to help them out.
That's not always true.
no
either.
is a complete sentence. I don't have time for this. I am sorry.
That's
no.
also not completely true.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I
asked
fixed
you.
a few of your shits.
That's not.
Fixed a few
He's
things.
That's
got to
not
bring up
going out
that
and-
water heater,
I wasn't even talking
Hold
about
on.
water heater.
Hold on.
which you didn't fix.
Anytime
oh, sorry,
I'm on
you
my way
fixed and
back
then
home,
broke.
you ask me to stop somewhere. If I'm not already past it, I do. Same with Alyssa.
That's okay. But if I ask you before you leave to go do something,
You need to send me what you... Alyssa, when you ask me to stop somewhere and get something for you, you usually send me a message, hey, can you stop here and get me this, this, and this?
Yeah, and then he'll set an alarm in his phone that he uses for years after.
Okay, but
That was about 2 years ago, wasn't it?
also, I sent him a text after all this, and I was like, this is what I get from this vape store in bold letters. I was like, screenshot this. He goes, no, you could just send it to me again when you want me to get it.
Hold on.
I'm like, motherfucker.
No, that's not what I said. I said...
That won't work.
He said, just red salt, Nick, lowest level. I'm like, that doesn't tell me flavors. I didn't realize that was the flavor. I thought that was the fucking brand.
It's both.
Well, I wasn't aware. And he said, screenshot this. I'm like, and screenshotting won't help because I screenshot at least a picture a day from Facebook to watch new animes. So that's going to get lost. But then he pointed out the fact you can literally just type salt, Nick, in. I can do that. I can do that.
You can send him a picture of the bottle that you get, and then it's in his photos, and then he can just scroll back to his photos.
I guess it's just because you didn't realize you could do that in the past. There's been things I'd send you, and you'd be like, I don't know what you get. I'd be like, I send this to you every fucking time I ask you to go get this thing.
What? No. Like what?
I'm on the spot here. Right? This is taking a test right now.
I know Alyssa's.
Monster flavors, all kinds of shit.
Okay, there's so many fucking monster flavors. And I know you get the peach and I know you get the green, but last time I went to get you guys monsters, it was 4 different ones from you, and the only thing I know is you drink the white and the peach, but there's been new flavors coming out.
I don't
Do you
really
not
care
drink
for
the white ones anymore?
I do, sometimes.
I was going to say, that's what I bought for you the last time.
That was her only flavor she would drink for the longest time.
Okay. Because DoorDash might have... Just blame DoorDash.
Yeah. Damn it, DoorDash. No, white's fine. I'll drink
However, then when you don't get your way or something goes awry,
I throw a fit. Get over it.
Throw the biggest fit.
white. But then when his children throw fits,
You're damn right.
unacceptable.
Beat them.
You know, whenever I'm like, there's been more than one time where you're like, oh man, I forgot to get yours, or I didn't get yours because I didn't have enough money. I'm just like, all right, that's cool. Or you could have just taken the money. I'm like, oh, that's fine.
I did not want to go to Pacific. I did not want to drive anywhere this weekend. That was my issue. And for 2 days before the weekend hit,
You also could have asked me to stop and get it.
I had already asked him. And you were already back before I knew he hadn't picked it up.
I mean, my point is don't sit here and act like you can't ask anybody to do anything.
I didn't say anything. There's a lot of stuff you helped me out with, like my daughter, for instance.
Elaborate.
Yep.
Please.
I don't understand how you guys could have taken that the wrong way, but okay. The other day, our daughter is grounded from her phone and other devices, and we're not the most anal retentive parents. Like, our rule in this house pretty much is you do your chores, you do whatever you want.
3 days after she has been completely and fully grounded, this child manages to have her phone back in her room.
Every time.
Every time. Every time she's grounded.
Never loses all of her devices. So the other day I walk in.
How does that happen?
I'm like, hey, yo.
Hold on, let me explain to them how that happens.
Okay, go ahead.
Because she's allowed to take it to school to open the garage door.
Uh-huh.
My solution for that was don't let her take it to school. She has an emergency. She can use a school phone to get in the front door. I will literally give her my key.
Yeah.
Or there's other ways to get in the house that I'm not going to say just in case. And then he does pay for a subscription on her phone and other people's phone plans to do like a Duolingo
To learn
Duolingo.
language, and she's been doing good at that.
She has a hell of a streak on
Like
there.
400
I get that.
plus days.
That's fine. But he made the solution to make her sit right there to do it. That's fine. Life happens. Things happen. He's working. Hey, can I use my phone for this for a second? And then, yeah. Or they take her phone to school and then she doesn't put it back.
Mm-hmm.
Or she'll be...
Or she'll have her watch,
phone.
or she'll have her Chromebook, or she'll have her Xbox. Like, there's always a workaround, and like, I'm not stupid. We fucking see it, and it's disrespectful as shit. Well, the other day, I walked into the kitchen. She was sitting there editing a video for TikTok. And I'm like, hey, your stuff isn't done. How about you go ahead and jump off this because you shouldn't be on it. You're grounded in the first place. Get your stuff done. Then I don't really care if you're on there as long as all your shit's done. Well, I've been working on this for 3 days. I'm like, I don't really care how long you've been working on it. You should probably shut it off now and go ahead and do your stuff. And I walked away because she didn't even move towards doing anything. But I got plenty of sighs and looks. As I'm walking away, Ghost here is like...
It wasn't as you were walking away. I waited a solid like 10 minutes maybe.
And he just lit her up. And he's like, yo, bro, what you're doing is fucking disrespectful as shit. You're being like, you straight up ignored what he said. And there's been several instances of this just in the last couple of days where I'll say something and it's ignored 100%. Disrespectful as shit. So he's helping out with that. But again, I don't think it really...
Well, fuck her little Duolingo strike, whatever it is.
The problem is if I do that, then she probably will never use it again. And it's a good thing for her to have the ability to speak multiple languages for her future.
And there's also the fact that, like, that's one of those things, like, she is a dramatic person whenever her feelings are hurt, and that would probably crush her to the extent that she would be bawling. And we're not trying to, like...
make you cry, hurt you. We're trying to use it as a learning experience. This is why you're in trouble. This is how you avoid it in the future. That's the idea behind spankings and why we've never been... Spankings don't really do anything. It helps you get rid of your frustration, and it hurts the individual that you're hitting, but they never fully understand what they did to get their ass beat.
Well, I don't know. Every time my daddy beat my ass, I knew why I did it, what I did, and I won't ever do that shit again.
Oh, I always did it again.
But you didn't not do it because you understood or you grasped the concept. And it's not about understanding. Like, yeah, I understand, like, why my mother felt it was appropriate to spank me. However, that's not solving the problem. That's just encouraging them to either come up with workarounds so they don't get caught the next time, or damaging the relationship that you have with your child.
That's when, like, we had a trust talk with my middle daughter a while back. She had taken a thing from the house and taken it to school and gotten kicked out of summer school for doing it. And I told her, I was like, you've lost all of our trust. All of our trust is gone. So for 2 weeks straight, she worked on doing her chores and like keeping her stuff done. And she's like, I have your trust back now? I've been doing my stuff. And I'm like, you're showing me that you can be responsible, but no, you haven't earned any of my trust back. And she goes, why? I've done my stuff. And I said, because trust doesn't come from doing the things you're supposed to do. In order to trust you, I need to know that when you get to driving age, if you and a bunch of friends are driving around and maybe you got drunk and you're driving and you hit somebody with your fucking car, I get a phone call going, Dad, I fucked up. This is what happened.
Bring the shovel.
That's trust. Trust is knowing that when you fuck up, you can still talk to me about it and we can work on it.
Yep.
That's trust.
Which she has done a lot better. She will come and talk to you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one bottles it all up.
This one in here,
that one used to come and talk to us.
But then we became uncool and the biggest dumbasses in the world.
I don't think it's about being uncool. I just don't understand.
It's so funny too, because like she will ask us a point blank question. Ask a point blank question. And I'll give the proper response back. And she'll be like, well, I don't know, because so-and-so said this, so I think it's going to be that way. I need to do it this way. Or I thought maybe it would be better if I did it this way, so fuck your plan. I'm going to do it like this.
Krista.
Well, at least she got your advice before just doing it like she wanted to do anyways. Now she's got 2 ways of doing it, and she only chose one.
She only had one to begin with.
Well, just beat her ass.
But that's where he helps out. And like you help me with projects around the house. Alyssa does a lot of shit for me. I understand people do stuff.
It's just the heat of the moment where he gets upset.
I do. And
that's too fucking bad.
On that, I watched a TikTok earlier. And it was this dude, like, he's like, something about, I'm getting ready for a fight, but when you see this in the other person, just fuck it and run. And he poses up, and then the other guy's getting like posed up and his hands and shit are shaking. And while they're balled up and stuff, and the guy's like, you ever see somebody's fucking hand shaking right before you fight them? Just call it off and fucking run. And I started looking through the comments, and people are like, yeah, that's adrenaline. You can hit them as much as you want. They're not going to feel a damn thing, but you're going to feel every fucking thing they throw at you. That is literally me playing Fortnite. Like, I've played Fortnite before, and
what?
After killing like 4 or 5 people in a thing of like 10, my hand is doing this on the mouse.
Mine does that too.
Yeah, well, I kind of disagree with that.
And when it's not
whole
doing it,
running
he
thing.
feels when he gets shot.
When you're shaking like that and you're mad as hell or upset or whatever the case may be, that's when I want to fight you. Because if you're calm, that's when I'm running. But if you're all shook up and you're mad as hell, the only thing you're worried about is hurting me. You're not worried about yourself getting hurt.
I would agree with you, except for the years of martial arts that we did and the fact that apparently I can still call on some of that shit.
Well, also, it really depends.
Call upon my ancestors.
Is the person that you're fighting that's all hyped up on adrenaline, are they typically the type of person that loses their mind whenever they're hyped up on adrenaline, or do they utilize the adrenaline to their advantage, knowing that they're not going to get hurt, but they can still calculate?
I've never fought anybody like that. Everybody I've ever fought that was like...
You want to? I got the guy for you.
Everybody I've ever fought when they were all pumped up on adrenaline, when they were all jacked up on Mountain Dew, the only thing, they were more worried about hurting me than themselves getting hurt. And as long as I could stay calm, like I've never lost a fighting somebody that was pumped up like that. Now I've had my ass toe up fighting somebody that was calmer than I was. I'm talking about straight whoop my ass.
I can come up with a couple of situations where I was in where I didn't start fucking them up too bad until the adrenaline was there. So I already have a high pain threshold.
Yeah, only broke my finger.
When Donnie and I were wrestling out in the front yard while I had a torn labrum.
They were naked.
I had a torn labrum.
And naked.
Donnie asked us not to tell.
Yeah. And when we were out there, he's like, I said, boy, I could still whoop your ass with my torn labrum. He's like, let's go. So we went outside and we're going at it pretty good. And he got me in a hold. And I said, Donnie, you want to go ahead and stop before I hurt you? And he said, boy, I got you in a hold. You ain't going to fucking hurt me. And about that time, I started to shake, and I just stood up with him around my body in this hold he had me in and dropped his ass on the floor, on the ground, and fucked his nose up or his head, something on his head or face. I fucked it up, and he started bleeding everywhere. And I'm like, I'm sorry, bro. I did not mean to actually hurt you. I was like, but you got my adrenaline going. With me, I calculate the fact that my adrenaline is running and whatever you're about to do to me isn't going to hurt. So I'm going to get in real close and I'm going to apply pressure points and hit you. And yeah, I'm going to apply my lips. I'm not saying I'm the best fighter that ever existed. I'm not saying I've never had my ass kicked. But another instance of this was Mr. Tracy, who I thought was lifting a fist to my wife, my now wife, then fiance. And within a split second, like I felt myself shaking. And within a split second of him raising his arm, I had him in a chokehold on the ground, putting him to sleep while he was punching me in the face.
Night night.
He's going to sleep.
Another great example is when Kayla from the vape store called us and was like, I don't know what to do. This guy is being a fucking asshole, and my dad is an hour away. So
yeah.
We all hopped into the van and we drove on up there, and he's pissed because Kayla's 18. She's tiny.
She was 17 at that time. I don't think she was an adult.
17.
Was she 18? Okay.
Yeah, she was working in a vape shop.
Yeah, she was 18.
She's a tiny ass girl. He's being a complete dick. He's pissed. We're all in the car, and I get my phone out and I'm watching and I'm recording, and he is being calm and he's trying to talk his way out, but you can see his adrenaline running. And then her dad comes in and immediately enters the frame and pushes the guy.
He
and you
grabs
can
this
see in the
motherfucker's
video,
shirt and knocks the wind out of him, slamming him up against the wall.
You can hear in the video where I go, oh.
And put the phone away. And at that point, I literally grabbed a hold of her dad and ripped him off of this kid and threw him to the side. And this is not this is one of those wiry, muscly bound dudes that's they don't have a lot of bulk, but they could fuck you up real bad. Scrappy motherfuckers. And this kid, he's just a punk ass little shit. And while I was grabbing Kayla's dad and pulling him off, I grabbed this kid and slammed him against the wall again, knocking the air even further out of this little shit. And I told him, I was like, you back the fuck up now. I got this under control. Her dad was like this. I'm like this.
Spear fingers.
The thing about me when I start to have an adrenaline rush is I slow it down. The whole reason why I'm shaking is because I'm holding back. My body wants to move, and I'm calculating. So if you get a shaky dude who's just like throwing his hands around and screaming and yelling and like adrenaline's pumping, that's the guy that I would be like, all right, I can still fuck this dude up.
Yeah, they're over
But
there.
if you got a guy who's posed in front of you waiting for the fight to start and you see his eyes moving all over your fucking body and shit, like this dude is about to rip you into shreds. Fuck messing with that guy. And that's why they say if you got somebody with a gun pointed at you and the gun is shaking, you're in a seriously bad situation. But if you got a guy holding a gun and it's pointing at you and it's not moving at all, you'd probably be okay to like do some defensive measures. But shaky people holding guns tend to accidentally pull triggers.
For legal purposes, this is not.
It's not
advice.
It's not like advice.
If someone has a gun, pull yours
Or run
just
and hide.
You ain't outrunning that
every
bullet.
situation's different when a gun's
There's a
involved.
song about that.
But I asked her.
I have a different approach when my adrenaline's going and someone's trying to fight me.
Mine is to cry.
I understand why your boyfriend hits you.
I've seen that one time in our living
but
room.
it was only because I couldn't punch you because you're my brother.
They should have fucking done it.
I should have just fucking
That gives
nailed
you
you in
more
the
reason
face.
to
Yeah,
punch him.
then he
He's
could have
your
broken
brother.
your finger.
What?
It gives you more reason to punch him because he's your brother.
I know, but
Yeah,
it
it's
just
the
wasn't the
one
right time.
free shot.
I really should have.
All you can hear me say is random shit in the background of this that is contextual, but with everything else over it, it does not sound good.
But the whole reason why I showed her that video in the first place is because I asked her. There was a 5-6 year period of my life where I wished a motherfucker would. It was like this primal urge to see if I could fuck somebody up. And I was just waiting for that moment where somebody did. Where somebody decided, I'm going to engage this motherfucker in a fight.
Yeah, there was also this other time where he was like that. This stop sign looked at him wrong.
I fucked that stop sign. It wasn't a stop sign. It was a mile marker sign.
Either way, it looked at him wrong.
And it was still gone the next time we went through there.
I ripped that motherfucker off the pole. I ripped it out of the concrete. Yes.
You ripped the pole out of the concrete, not the concrete out of the ground?
Correct. I was
Okay.
raging, and I beat that fucking sign to shit. And then I yanked on the fucking pole in the ground on the side of the interstate for, 10 minutes? And then the pole was laying on the ground as we pulled off.
The only thing I remember is as we were standing there, the GPS road line started getting orange.
I can just imagine the people driving by going, what the fuck is he doing to that sign?
Fuck this number in particular. But there's been several situations where
That was the same energy I was channeling when I punched the tailgate of the truck.
Yeah.
I would buff out. Like there was a time we were walking out of Walmart. I think we've mentioned this on here. Our daughter was doing just normal little kid shit. She was like 3 or 4.
No, she was like a year and a half.
And her and I were having a stupid little argument as we walked out of Walmart. And she goes, yeah, Van, how about you have our 1.5-year-old go ahead and do multiplication?
No,
Go ahead.
That's not how that went. We were discussing it, and I was like, yeah, Delilah, why aren't you smart enough to do algebra?
And this lady behind us decided to open her mouth, thinking we were actually saying this to her 1.5-year-old. Uh-huh. Not giving each other shit.
Right.
And so I just turned around and I assessed very quickly, lady, man, obviously not her significant other, more like child, grandchild. I said, hey, how about you mind your own fucking business and you and your little fuck buddy over here go do something else. And shoulders went back. This dude's now pissed because I accused him of fucking his mom or grandma. And he's like, huffing behind us as we're walking through the parking lot, and I hear, fuck you, bitch, I'll fuck you up, man, fuck you. And I just turned around, and the dude bounced off of me, and I was like, I'll tell you what, you get the first fucking hit, you better make it count, or you better fucking walk. And he just sat there shaking and said, fuck you, and walked away. This happened in a truck stop parking lot.
No,
where I was
it was a
shipper,
delivery.
receiver, yeah. And I'm in there, and I'm taking 5 minutes to do my paperwork before I leave the fucking facility. I've already done my parking. I've already done my unloading. We're about to leave. I just have to change my clock or whatever. This guy gets over the CB. Nice fucking parking job, creep. Couldn't park in a spot like the rest of us, you lazy fat piece of shit. And I said, hey, man, how about you calm the fuck down? You have no idea what I'm doing. Mind your own damn business. I'll be out of the way here in just a minute. Yeah, well, fuck you. How about you get out and fight me, you little bitch?
All right, then.
So I climbed
Teleported
out the truck,
out of the truck.
and I stood there. And this motherfucker starts walking up to me, and I'm like, this is it. I'm finally going to fight a motherfucker.
It's my time to
It
shine.
took 30 seconds for him to start crying. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. It's just been a rough day, and I don't mean no harm. I don't want to fight you, man.
And then they went to that guy's truck and they made out.
And I'm just going, God. And I literally looked to listen. I said, God damn it. I thought this was it.
You're like, can you just fight me anyways?
Like, and there's one instance where a dude tried to throw a cigarette in the window of our minivan with our children in it.
The pinnacle of hotness for him in our relationship.
No, that was when I had you in a chokehold, apparently.
All right.
So we're waiting at a red light.
We'll give context in a moment.
We're waiting at a red light. There's a left turn that she's trying to make. She's 2 vehicles in front of me. I'm in an 18-wheeler about to make this truck a delivery at a place.
And it's a light at a place in like an industrial park. So the road is not really made for car-sized vehicles to see. So I can't see over this hill to see if anyone's coming.
Well, there's a car in front of her also making a left in the other direction, so she can't see around that car. Mm-hmm. And it's the yellow caution left. So she can't see if anybody's coming to make that left. And this dude starts screaming and yelling, and then I see him flick a fucking cigarette. And I would love to know what went through this man's head. Because the next thing I know, I'm standing at this motherfucker's window. My truck has been parked. It's behind him
Brakes are
still.
pulled.
I pulled the brakes, jumped out of my truck, and stood out this motherfucker's window. And I went, hey! And he goes, huh? And I went, did you just throw a fucking lit cigarette at my wife? No. I was like, really? Because it looked like you just flicked your fucking cigarette at my wife's minivan because you're pissed off. I said, listen here, you little bitch. You're going to sit in this fucking line like every fucking body else, and you're going to shut the fuck up and sit here like a good little girl. Do you fucking understand me? And he's like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I walked back to my car and got back in, and the dude was like, he very calmly made that left turn when it was his turn to go. He did not fuck with it anymore.
Well, yeah, we were going to the same place.
So the reason I showed it to her is because I'm like, is this why people won't like engage me when it becomes time? Am I sitting there vibrating, telling them, hit me, bitch? Come on, hit me. Hit me. You get first call. Hit me.
I would have loved to see how it played out if I punched you that night.
I wouldn't have hit you back.
Come on.
I wouldn't have done it.
Come on.
I wouldn't have done it.
We could just brawl, just trading punches.
I have been.
So wait, you won't spar with women?
It's not that. I have been in 2 fights.
It feels like that.
I have been in 2 fights. One of them, I got my
Were
ass
either
beat.
of them women?
No.
Wow.
Now listen, I was in 2 fights. The first
but
one.
I bet Calvin would look pretty in a dress.
First one was Calvin, and he kicked my ass, like slammed my head up against the bleacher in the men's locker room a couple of times. Not how you're thinking, way less dirty.
Right.
Whoa.
Kind of like this.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it sounded like.
When I had him in a headlock and I was punching him, I could literally feel myself pulling punches as they were coming in. Like it's like being in a dream. Where you're in a dream and you can't just quite run fast enough. Like you can run faster than you currently are in this dream, but your legs won't move. Mm-hmm. Every time I'd go to throw a punch, I could feel myself pulling my punches. And the second fight with Nick, I could have hurt him. I could have just kept squeezing. I could have done multiple things there, but my body wouldn't allow me to. When I'm in a situation where I could physically fuck somebody up, like
Your
hurt
body's a
them,
pussy.
I cannot move past my conscience into that territory of hurting somebody. And I don't know why. Like, I just stopped. So if you'd have hit me, it's like the situation, which is the hottest moment in our relationship, apparently, where I was having a moment during my mental breakdown. She grabbed my shirt because, she slapped me and then grabbed my shirt because I went to walk away.
Hang on.
I deserved it.
I said something, and he just looked at me like dead-eyed and said, I want to fucking die. And I slapped him. It was like reactionary. Like I didn't have control
Fight or
over it.
flight.
I just fucking slapped him because the person that was looking at me and saying that shit to my face was not Van.
Yeah.
And when she hit me, instincts took over. And I put her in a headlock, a chokehold. And I put her in a chokehold, and a little bit after that, I let her go. She grabbed my shirt, and when I turned to walk away, her finger got stuck in my fucking shirt and it broke.
Yeah, like when you like grab a shirt or like a blanket or something, your fingers like curl in on themselves. Well, whenever he went to pull away, the fabric pulled the top knuckle of my finger over and crushed the bone on the side of the knuckle below it.
Ugh.
So that's why my finger is currently not burnt.
So a week goes like, now, mind you, while I had her in this chokehold, all the adrenaline, I was shaking because I just my
So you like knocked her brain loose a little bit?
maybe. And when I let her go, I was trying to walk the fuck away. Well,
That's
I
why
think
she
it was like a
married
week
you.
later.
Neither one of us came out of that adrenaline until I was like, I had sat down in front of the door and I like looked down and my hand caught my attention and my ring finger was like twice the size of my other fingers.
and kind of looking at the other fingers.
And I was
that's
like, I
when
think we broke my finger.
She played a part.
it was like a week later. She says something to me, and I was like, "Yeah, I never want to be in that situation." And she goes, "I don't know. It was so hard for me not to be like just turn on you and start making out with you. I was so fucking
it was
turned on by
actually
that."
put
And I
my
was like,
hand down your
"What
pants,
the fuck,
but-
man? What?" And that's when I figured out how far into BDSM she really was.
After
Don't look at me. What the
15
fuck?
years.
Are you Randy?
Are you trying to make her wet in the podcast? I'm confused.
I already came.
Oh, wow. Holy shit. Well,
I thought I heard dripping.
didn't know I was going to be here for this. I would have at least shaved my legs.
See, I heard
What the fuck?
Velcro. I thought you were getting your strap.
No, it was this Velcro.
So that's why I ask. Like, you've been in fights. I don't think you've ever been in a fist fight, have you?
Never needed to.
Nearly were out in our garage.
Yeah, well.
And this is the only motherfucker I think would swing on me if it came down to it. Because he even said, what was it, like a week later, like a month later, you were talking about, and you're like, I knew he would fuck me up, but I ain't scared. I will take that swing.
To this day, I'm not afraid to fight people. I obviously know in a lot of situations I'll get my ass kicked. There is one person in particular I don't think I would ever fight.
Brad
Who's that?
Miller.
No.
Oh.
Let's just say he's a close friend of mine who
Was it Austin?
no.
No.
Austin.
Wait, what is his name? Your best
Parker?
friend. Parker.
Oh,
That's it.
No.
No,
Oh.
he wouldn't hit a guy that's missing a toe.
Oh, gotcha.
He's the type of person that when you hit him, you don't feel pain normally,
Yeah.
but when you hit this person,
It gives him a boner.
it gives him the excitement.
So he's psychotic.
Is somebody you work with?
No, he's just I don't want to name names.
Do I know him?
Yes.
Has he fought him?
No.
This is a fun guessing game.
You can
like,
tell me
guess who?
afterwards.
Yeah.
It's like
But-
20 questions. Is it an animal, a person?
Oh, you know what, though?
I'd fight him.
I'd fight him.
I think by the end of a fight with him and I would be laughing.
Probably.
He would be laughing.
He would be laughing from
Because
the
when you're
start.
describing, like, if somebody hit him, he would start laughing. I sit in here going, so is it me? You just said it wasn't me. Because when people hit me, I get,
So
Giggly.
Okay, let me.
He's
Yes.
like a schoolgirl.
I would
get to do it
playfully
now.
fight him, but in a serious situation, I would not fuck with him.
huh.
He's probably one of the only people that, like, yes, even though I know I'm probably going to get my ass kicked in a lot of fights, he's the only person
I
that
think-
I'm just like, I'm going to do my best to avoid
I
fighting.
think that might also be because when his switch flips,
it's gone.
it's death.
Yes.
That's how this ends.
Yes.
Where you know that I would hit a point where I'm like, okay, I'm going to stop now.
Yeah, and, like, I'm sure there's other people out there who are just like, oh, it's death. But him, I know him to the point, and I've seen him, and I've known him through the years that he's just somebody that, like, fighting him would be the last thing I would do.
He'd suck his dick first.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, you would.
No, I think I might.
You know that's probably been in a prison pocket
Does
or
he
two.
still listen?
I don't know.
He said
I
he
think
did.
so.
Fucking better.
I think he
Posted
messaged in the group chat at one point.
I think so.
Maybe.
No. So I was just curious. Like, you've been in fights. How many fights would you say you've been in?
2.5.
And how many of them were like, this isn't ending until one person's sleeping?
3.
For legal
Honestly,
purposes,
I
this is all a
couldn't.
joke.
Yeah, honestly, I couldn't. It'd take me a while to sit down and really think about how many fights I've been in. I can tell you how many times I've had my ass toe up. 4.
Really?
Yep. I remember those. I don't
One of
remember
them
how many
was
wins
Callie.
I've got, but one of them was Callie.
And I think, like, I don't know about you when you fight, but when I fight, once they're down,
hold on.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Once
She's
they're,
like, no, she didn't. You know,
but her and Alec, and I think Sarah towards the end of like you all living together, they would literally all try to attack me at one time to take me down for years. Anytime
And
we all
I
had a
did
family
once.
gathering,
No, I took you down once.
you by yourself?
Yeah.
Was there a nut
I don't
shot
remember that.
involved?
No.
Oh.
I was on his back choking the shit out of him.
also,
Was that in the like little den thing off the kitchen at your mom's place in town?
Maybe. I don't remember where it was.
So you've seen me extremely pissed off. She's seen me to the point of losing my fucking mind.
I've made him extremely
She's put me there
pissed off.
before. How would you describe my demeanor change? Because I can't see me. Do I become another person?
Become another bear.
It's the first thing I thought of when I said that to you. Time to become another person.
Before I answer that, I also won't fight or hit a woman. Not because I think they're beneath me. It's a respect thing for me, and I don't know where I got it from. Like I was
So
never
if
taught.
I agreed and you agreed, you wouldn't go out there and scrap with me?
I mean, I'd probably scrap with you
All
per
right,
se,
cool.
but like in
If
an
it were a
actual
mutual agreement.
Like
situation-
if I
thing?
pissed you off, you wouldn't fight me?
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Okay.
He would take it out on his phone or his iPad.
Nope, not
Yes.
the way I was raised, and I've never been put in this situation, thank God. But you got 3 times as a woman to hit me. First one, I probably deserved that. Second one, all right, you're pushing your luck. Third one, you done stepped into a man's shoes. I'm about to bust your ass.
See,
And Callie
if
didn't
you
need a
were,
fourth
if
one
you
'cause
were
you were already
whooping
down.
my ass, like, and especially like, of course, the situation plays into that, you know, circumstances. But if you were straight whooping my ass for no reason or not a good enough reason to be whooping my ass like that, and I'm not just gonna go off and like fucking KO your ass, you know, I'm not gonna swing a right hook to the
I've seen
to
some
the
fucking
jaw.
TikTok videos of some shit like that go down where the girl just like gets up in the dude's face and he's like, I'm warning you. And she punches him. He's like, don't do it again. You will regret it. And she fucking lays up another one and he's just boop. And she's sleeping. You can hear her snoring. And I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, I don't ever want to knock a woman out, but I will push you. And if you keep coming at me, I will hit you.
see,
Because you obviously want it. You
I think if
obviously
you were
want a fist fight.
I think
so
if
let's
you were
fist
being
fight.
attacked by a female, like physically attacked, I think you would put a couple moves on them to
already
get
won.
them the fuck down.
so if I couldn't get away from the situation, maybe then. But like in relationship statuses, every person I've ever dated, I've told them, I'm like, if you hit me one time, it's over. There is no second time. There is no nothing. Like, this relationship is over. I will not speak to you. I will not talk to you. I will get my shit and I will leave, and that is the end of it. That's just how it is. Because, I mean, you know, man.
Violence doesn't solve things, guys.
No, I'm not a violent person. I don't like violence. I feel like,
I love violence.
I mean, you've seen me. I've obviously there's been points where I've been worked up enough to break some shit, but at the same time, like, there's nothing worth my time in getting into a fight. Like, there's no, like, nothing is worth my time in getting into an altercation to an extent. Like, obviously, if somebody like kidnaps my child or something like that, I'm gonna beat the fuck. If somebody lays a hand on my mother, I'm gonna step in and fight. Like, there's certain things that will get me there, but there's hardly anything that
If we find out you are beating your significant other, we will all get together, come and whoop your ass. So
Yep,
just
yep,
know
yep.
that now. We don't stand for that
there's
shit.
just like,
I
to
will
me,
hurt
there's
you
not much
mentally.
that I would be like, well, this calls for violence.
You know,
In my
With the
defense, I
amount-
didn't hit Van. I hit whatever demon was possessing his ass.
There's also a thing. I don't step into people's relationships, whether it's people who are friends like family or actual family.
Yeah.
With the amount of force that I punched that pole with, I would have loved to see what that would have done to somebody's face.
Isn't that fucked up? Isn't that fucked up? Like, I would, like, that's one of the reasons I wanted to fight for years. Like, could I fuck somebody up pretty bad?
Like, I'm not saying I want to sit there and beat the shit out of them. Just one punch. I just want that amount of force that broke my hand like that. I just want to see what it would have done. Would I have knocked somebody out?
Do anything but leave a little bitty red mark right here, and you just got weak bones.
I mean,
got no
this
weak bones.
bitch has broken so many
Osteoporosis.
bones.
I've broken 4.
I broke my nose 4 times.
I can tell
Wow.
Wow.
because it's so pretty.
He got his own nose job.
So demeanor though, what happens? Like when I went off on you, you started crying because you were ready to fuck me up.
Yeah.
You've known me your entire life, right?
was
So
coming.
like, what does that look like whenever that?
It was coming.
Because I have had moments, and I've been told by people, you've never seen him angry, and when you do, it's fucking terrifying. Is that? I don't feel like that could be true.
It's not, well, for me, it wasn't terrifying. It was more of just like, I see where you're at right now, but I can double it. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, we come from a crazy ass family, though. We're just like, that's, I'm going to hit a whole new level.
When it's
this
directed
isn't even
at
my
me,
final form.
Super Saiyan 3.
when it's directed at me, and I'm also heated, it doesn't bother me. When it's directed at somebody else or directed at me and I'm not heated, I'm just like, here we go again. But whenever I see it from a complete outside perspective, I'm like, they should probably watch what they say or do. But like
We make it sound like it happens all the time, too.
No.
I mean, obviously, well, to us, obviously it doesn't happen. You do get worked up.
But not to that point.
Not to that point.
The poor light switch.
Light switch.
Yeah, you get pissed off. You're slamming the light switches on and off.
Oh.
Or slamming doors.
After I broke my hand, I had it in that brace, and a box of
No.
a box of, what was it?
Mac and cheese.
Well, no, it was
potatoes.
mashed potatoes. The freeze or whatever the dry potatoes premix.
Yeah.
It decided to do me wrong in some way, and I just wound up with my left hand and just just punched the shit out of it. And I was like, you know what? I think I have a problem.
I literally looked at her from across the kitchen. I'm like, did you not learn your fucking lesson a week ago? Now, 1 week goes by and you're punching mashed potato boxes. What
It's
the
not a
fuck is
light
wrong
pole.
with you?
What the potatoes
She did learn her lesson. She didn't hit something that hits back.
Yeah, I guess so.
We
I would have
have,
laughed if that fucking mashed potatoes just fell and hit you.
we have like a really hardcore like workbench, not workbench, toolbox, Cobalt toolbox outside. And there was one day, I don't remember what happened. I think it was during our fucking snafu that the neighbors were like, I'm going to sit in my chair and watch this shit go down. Where I walked up and I just started hammer fisting the top of it.
Yeah, that was that day.
And when I came back, there was a sizable, like, 1.5 inch deep fucking divot in the top of the steel fucking deal. And I'm like, what you did? Wonder what would have happened if that had been like somebody's head.
That or like whenever you headbutted the window and cracked it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think what pisses me off more than anything, though, is whenever inanimate objects hurt me.
That's her number one thing. Like, I've seen her get to that point. This woman right here, if she stubs her toe, if she does something and it hurts,
So mad.
you can't ask her if she's okay. That is not allowed. Or you then become the thing that hurt her.
You are the target.
I feel like I'm kind of the same way.
She does the
I
Peter
used to be
Griffin
like
thing.
that, but then I started living with this dude who's always like, what you doing? Where you going? What's up? Is this good? Is that good? Is that good? So I went from being the, don't fucking talk to me right now, to, I'm fine, just leave it alone.
She hasn't figured that part of it out
Yeah,
yet.
well,
He hasn't figured it out yet. One of these days.
I want to check on you. I need to know.
I don't want to be checked on in that moment.
That's when you just stand back until she starts doing everything else, and then you're just like, "Are you good?" And that's it.
Okay.
Precisely.
She says she doesn't like. She gets hurt. She's like, "Ow!" She gets really hurt. It's.
I stubbed my toe the other day, and I just stood there. I was like, he was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, yep. All right. I'm not gonna punch it. I'm not gonna punch it.
She does that weird little. Every time she starts
Grabbing second and third gear on a crotch rocket.
Hell yeah.
Off in the distance.
I'll smack my elbow on my truck at work, and then you'll just see me beating the shit out of my truck with my tie-down bar.
Fuck, man.
It hurts. And I don't like when inanimate objects hurt me. They're not supposed to. Like, I realize it's...
I am your master. You'll do as I say.
I mean, essentially, like, I understand it's my fault. You know, I wasn't watching where my arm was going, or I wasn't paying close enough attention. But when I hit that elbow, I'm just like...
So really what you should be doing is hurting yourself.
Huh?
So
You
what
should
you...
be punishing yourself.
Yeah,
Pretty
punishing
much,
yourself.
I guess. But it just doesn't work out that way. I beat the shit out of my truck.
I mean, fuck it. I probably deserved it. Probably said something about your mama.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah. You guys need to get going fishing, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's turned out pretty decent.
It's a pretty long one.
Yeah, 2 hours. We need to keep from... Oh, real quick announcement. If you have not ordered anything from our merch store,
It's going bye-bye.
you better get it.
You got a month.
You've got less than a month.
Less
Yeah,
than.
we're shutting it down. We're never bringing it back.
Well, I don't know if you weren't up here for it.
No, I wasn't. So what decision did you make without me?
We didn't. They made it.
We need to make a sweet pea shirt because I want one.
They made a decision.
I want my
A
own
sweet
shirt.
penis?
And by
Yeah,
they, I
a
mean
sweet penis
Shopify. Shopify just decided. So it was costing us $1 a month to have the Shopify account. She comes over yesterday and she's like, "Hey, why did I just get a $39 charge from Shopify?"
All right, shut it down now.
And I'm like,
shut it down
I already
now.
fucking paid for it, so I
I'm
might
like,
as well use it.
I was like, "What do you mean a $39 charge?" And she goes, "Yeah, I just got charged $39." So we sat in here because they make it fucking difficult to find this shit intentionally.
Yep.
And we find where they're like, "Oh yeah, we got rid of the $1 a month. The lowest tier
just
for us
asked
is
Mandy.
$39 a month. The highest one's $110."
Yeah, shut it down now.
Well, we've already paid for it. So you've got 30 days. Well, probably from the time you listen to this, we'll say 20 days. You got a good 20 days.
15.
No, stop. You got 20 days to buy something. We'll make sure that your orders get processed and sent to you, but we've got to shut down the store because the $40 she just got charged is more than
Our
we've
shirts cost.
made
yeah.
on shop. So we've just gone further into the negative. So it's no longer helping us to produce the show.
So we're going to find somewhere else to do it?
We're
We'll
going to
try
look
to.
into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We might be able to go just directly through Printful.
Maybe.
Because I don't think they charge us anything for having merch on there, but then we'd have
We
to
have to
find a place
purchase the
to put the storefront.
What if
Get the fuck out.
we went to like seeing about these printing companies and like ordering ourselves, like we'll just drop like $200-$300 on a couple shirts and stuff like that, and then sell them and mail them out ourselves. Like obviously not get anything huge, like 400 or 500 shirts at a fucking time. Just get like 10 or 15
yeah.
shirts.
We thought
because-
about doing that.
I think that might be how we end up doing it, and then you contact us, and then. But the problem is then we get their billing information and their personal information.
Well, you
where
still have to go
Shopify
through-
keeps it separate.
You still have to go through some way to get the shipping label, so we still have to have a storefront.
You just
Yeah.
PayPal. and
Anybody
mail
who
it
maybe
out.
knows a lot about how this shit is
You
done.
can just get take it to the post office and they'll print
Right,
the
but
label.
like the billing information and stuff.
I don't want anybody handing me their credit card
Yeah.
info so I can do it. Like I know you
PayPal.
can
That's
use
why I said
PayPal and
PayPal.
shit, but PayPal also has a way where people can get their item and then say that they didn't get it or something, and
Yeah.
then
That's why you do
refund
it
the money.
to family and friends.
you can't do that when you're running an actual business. That is fraud.
Yeah.
we'll figure it out.
So anybody who does have experience in this realm of things, though, let us know. We might just go ahead and order some of these shirts and have them on hand when we have the money to do so. But you have 20, 25 days-ish to order merchandise, and then it's getting shut down because we can't. This stuff's already costing us somewhere around $40-$50 a month, and then running the storefront at another 40. I mean, before you know it, we're at $100 a month on something And I know that may not sound like a lot to a lot of people, but that's quite a bit of money that we just
Could go
don't
to
have
feeding
it
our
right
dogs.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. No shit.
Not the children, the dogs.
$120 every 2 weeks
They're
for
the more
dog food.
important one.
But anyways, that is all we have time for.
Yeah.
So please hit us up on.
And check us out at dfwai.com or .podcast or whatever the fuck Van normally says. It's time for us to go fishing. Share it with your grandma. Share with your mom.
What about your grandpa? You think he
Yeah.
liked it?
Share it
Grandpa
with
would
your
hate
grandpa,
this
too.
shit.
The information's in
send
the
it to
show
him.
notes.
Yep, and the information's in the show notes.
All right. Now, Callie, your turn.
Bye-bye.
You could message us at dfwai.podcast@gmail.com. Send us an email. And then if you
Join
guys
our
want to find our
socials.
link tree with all of our links to all of our socials, and then as well as our merch store and a few other things, go to the show notes, click see more, and then there's a link.
Under the
Take you straight to it.
Bleachers by Seymour
Yes.
Fox.
And stay tuned for a Sweet Pea or Sweet Penis t-shirt.
Sweet penis. We need to make that one, I guess.
Yeah, well,
sweet
good.
Can we
penis
do
t-shirt.
a dick with your face at the top?
I think we should do something phallic-esque, but not just straight up a penis. Something that could be misunderstood for a penis, but isn't a penis.
We'll figure it out.
Okay, we'll do a dog sitting backwards with its legs out, and we'll keep it spotted with his head turned around like this.
Okay, I don't know about that.
We'll see about that.
However, yes, if you do get on our socials, add yourselves, send us some messages. If there's any topics you want to hear us talk about, if you've had a question for the crew, go in there and ask.
Wiener dog with
I
your
had
face.
something that I wanted to talk
Oh,
about.
go ahead, real quick.
No, it's fine. It'll be a conversation. We can do it next time.
Oh,
Give us a little teaser.
I wanted to ask what you guys do when someone's being an asshole in traffic.
Okay.
Oh.
We'll talk about that in the next episode then.
Somebody write it
that'll
down.
be a good
Remember
conversation.
It. Here,
Send it to the.
I'm
Write it as
apparently
Dremel and carve it into the
the
table.
blue eye.
No. We
I
got.
will murder.
We gotta go.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
You're gonna hit the right button this time.
Thank you for being a friend.
Down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became the
All my friends, yellow low rider.
It's too fast! How could you even tell what's on?
I can tell.
Now that they're gone, you want to talk about some real shit?
I mean, is it liquid? Is it solid?
I don't know, but it's
Either way,
coming.
you couldn't handle it.
This evening, the shit is coming.
Thank you for being
Goodbye.
Bye.